phone. Let's see if this is working.
Yeah.
I gotta send this out. What's up, everybody? We're live. We're just gonna go from here. Not gonna do an intro because we kind of messed up the last one. We hope you guys can hear us this time.
YouTube's out to get us. That's the whole conspiracy. You guys
it's a conspiracy.
think, yeah,
that's part of the conspiracy episode.
I know I look rude as shit right now, but I'm just looking us up on YouTube so that I can see if the sound's going.
Yeah.
It's the 5G train leading.
This is the stare at my phone and
yeah. We're back and kind of pissed off.
Yeah, it's not working.
Gen Z.
The sound's not working.
Oh, this is the last one though.
Oh yeah, no. Check the current one.
Oh, there's where we
can hear you. Woo!
Okay,
hey, so we're here.
Balls on YouTube's chin.
Yeah.
That is
So give me a second to zone out and reshare this to people while you guys.
Yeah, help yourself. So here we are, Karm. No, I'm sitting.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your number one podcast of the goddamn week. This is the Crowded Room, and I'm here joined with my co-host Jared Pilsick. We have Karm Manhass in the goddamn hot seat. Thank you so much. I could do it. I can pull it out of my ass. Karm, thank you so much for showing up. I really appreciate it. We really enjoy spending time with you. No one does these kind of conspiracy episodes better. I love your tinfoil hat. Takes a lot for you to make time out of your schedule, and I appreciate it. I'd just like to get that out there.
Hell yeah.
That being said, Karm, what the hell is going on here? We just tried to talk about these human skin vests. The more we look into it, it was creepy as hell. They cost $350 on Etsy. I don't think it's real. I think you go to jail if you sell human skin. Like, am I wrong? Is this
Well, apparently not.
That'd be the conspiracy. You know what's interesting?
They're human leather. Sorry, let me do that. Sorry, go ahead.
If you go to Nancy O's, go sit down, look at the wall there. It's a picture of the guy with the red. He's wearing it's a painting.
Oh, okay.
He's wearing the same.
And what's going on?
Skin shoes.
Really?
The red shoes.
Nancy O's is satanic too. Hey.
Yeah.
This is scary. I saw that Balenciaga ad had so many little Easter eggs in it. Like the tape that was supposed to say Balenciaga had two A's, so it said Balenciaga. And you look into it, the designers pose with like these satanic poses that you can see statues posing at, where you're like as above, so below.
Oh yeah.
And that's like a normal satanic kind of ritual to pose as if that statue. I forget who it was, like Baphomet, something like that. Anyways, Baal was in the Bible the demon that people sacrifice children to. And all these Balenciaga ads have like some creepy ass little kid shit in it. Like there's one where this kid's just sitting there with a balloon, like a helium filled balloon with a string tied around its neck. And it's like facing away from the camera.
And like
creepy as shit.
The newer ones are the new one that they just gotten shit for. And like finally they're getting called out, right? Like
they're suing.
In case somebody doesn't know, like, you know, they put out that new one where they had kids that had like teddy bears on like leashes and like BDSM like leather and stuff. And then there was their merch on like a table, and on the table there was these like random papers and documents, and the one document that was like pretty visible was a document from a certain court case that was about child pornography, that was basically like justifying like virtual child pornography or something like that. And
there's books that are like creepy as hell sitting on the desks. You go into those books, they show pictures of kids with like their hands chopped off and stuff. It's and it's not real, it's art, right? Art. But then you go to the person who organized all this, like I guess you'd call it a designer, the person who like produced this set for the people to act on. You look at her pictures and stuff, and she takes like creepy ass pictures of herself and posts them on. Like these are real creepy people, and kids should not be anywhere around them. Anyways, Balenciaga came out and said they're suing their advertising, the heads of advertising.
They dropped that court case.
I'm sure they did, but they came out to try to save face and be like, oh, that's not us. We don't do this. Like you literally take pictures with the lady who designed all this stuff. Like you're proud of these people.
Yeah, one of the CEO, the top guys there, he's Salma Hayek's husband.
Right.
He creates these mannequins, and the mannequins are very extremely sexual at the clothing even on, including all their product. All of it is extremely like there's the penises and all the genitalia is chopped off, and
kids with penises for noses and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
It's really
Pinocchio.
like even if they were
Conspiracy.
adults, it would be creepy. Why are you bringing kids into
Yeah.
this, right? Like, yeah, it's really odd, and I don't like it at all. I never did buy a Balenciaga piece of clothing. I would never do it, but it's not like I'm looking for it now. Yeah.
So I saw a video the other day, and the infamous Andrew Tate was talking about it.
Yeah.
And it was actually a pretty interesting take on it, because he's like one thing you have to understand about Satanists is they believe that if they tell you what they're doing and you're okay with it, then like that
it
saves
absolves
them from all the
them from
retribution.
sin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so he says, he's like, if I put poison apples out and I put apples on the side of the box and you eat one, that's murder. But if I put poison apples on the side of the box and you eat one, that's suicide, right? And so like they tell you what they're doing. So every time you support them, you're supporting fucking all that sex trafficking and all that stuff, right?
It's odd, and what's more odd is that nobody is bothering to come out against it at all. And
that's
I mean,
the part right there.
And I assume like the part that I want to see is what happens to them if they do, right?
Yeah, not a single celebrity. How many people have come out, and like I've seen tons of normal people that aren't celebrities burning all their stuff. There's tons of those people. Yeah. Where's all the celebrities speaking up? Right?
Influencers that have some sway in the public zeitgeist of what's actually believed. What I don't get is why the hell won't anybody stand up and just say, hey, I don't like objectifying kids? Like why?
Yeah,
it's a little creepy.
They'll sit there and say they're not racist and not a biget every fucking day till they're blue in the face, but they won't say that.
This smacks of what Kanye West was just fucking demonized for. What was that? 2 weeks ago?
Talking about what they were doing to his kids and stuff. They're like trying to sexualize his kids.
Telling you not to trust these people in Hollywood, and the ones on the camera aren't the ones pulling the strings. It's the ones behind the scenes that you really need to worry about.
Avatar Man says, check out the mannequins.
Who's this? Who's Avatar, Karm?
That is my sister.
Oh, okay.
She sent me the mannequin thing because I told her about it was coming on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'll give everyone a shout out. Carolyn's in the chat too. Goldfinger's hat, return of the tinfoil hats. Let's go.
Thank you guys for coming back for round 2 here. It was a little rough.
Shay says poop.
Thank you, Shay.
Then he says the crypto billionaires that just died. That last tweet was about that. What the fuck did you say?
Shay did?
The crypto billionaires that just died. Last tweet was about that shit. Okay, use punctuation for fuck's sake.
Shay, stop typing and just call us next time.
And then
you make
boom,
us look
he
dumb.
did. Yeah, but
like
no, it is true. Like it's not just the one crypto billionaire, millionaire.
Yes.
A bunch of them have been like dying these weird deaths, suiciding. People who weren't suicidal at all, that had all the money in the world, and like big part of crypto just dying in like 1 week.
Right.
And the guy he's talking about put out a tweet like saying that I think he said like the CIA or the FBI were after him. They were trying to like make him out to be a pedophile. They had like all this stuff.
Right.
And like
that's Andrew Tate was talking about that too on that post.
Okay.
He said he's getting scared because first step is getting canceled. Second step is getting your demonetized on actual banks or whatever. He's basically getting scrubbed. Third step is they show up and shoot you in the face. He's like, yeah, I need to like really be worried about this because they've basically like fired warning shots at him.
Yeah. And
if he doesn't listen, he's saying the next step is you end up in Hillary's basement.
Do you know who Art Bell is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got shot at and he quit. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's no evidence that someone actually shot at him, but why would there be, right? But he claims that someone shot at him and he quit the whole fucking industry after 20, 30, who knows how many years, at least 30 years on the radio.
Conspiracy.
How about this? The people that all committed suicide, they committed suicide the exact same way, over a doorknob.
Really? Hanging over a doorknob?
They don't do it the same way that Epstein died.
Really?
He didn't do it off his bed. They do this. It's almost like a calling card.
Like the wet bandits.
And if there is a conspiracy,
they're
all kind of in on it. And you kind of know, right? The numbers.
But the one guy was found hanging with a shotgun shot in his chest, shotgun wound in his chest, and is deemed a suicide. Like
you literally
there gets shot at like a pinata and fucking it's a suicide.
You literally
must be the Clintons.
Like a lot of shotguns,
or the Canadian government.
You can't point it at your chest.
Pretty close,
You'd have to like use your toes to fire the
while
gun.
you're hanging yourself.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen like
that unless it's sawed off or something. That's a little.
But that
silly.
goes to show you that like the cops and the people doing the investigations on all that stuff are in on it as well,
right?
Or at least some people to a certain.
Or at least
extent.
what happens is they just go, they're I'm just doing my job.
Yeah,
doing my job, right? I gave you the evidence, and then the next higher up person chooses whether or not to release that evidence, right?
That reminds me of some creepy shit I heard today. Theo Von had a retired cop on his podcast this week. And he told some creepy stories that he'd show up to calls and people would shoot themselves in the face. And he said this one guy shot himself with a shotgun, like wrapped his lips around it and walked up to the front door where like cops were in his driveway, like guns out and shit. And he fucking shot himself. He said his head blew up like a cartoon. Yeah. That like the gases expanded the skin in his head like a cartoon. Obviously not like fucking Mr. Mackey or something, but it's creepy as shit. And then he's like defending cops. He's like, try doing that every day for 20 years and being a normal person, right? And like being not on edge all the time.
That's kind of true, and that's one thing about their job, though. Truly, you're seeing
it's not an easy job.
Yeah,
right.
It is a toughest job.
It's almost like you can't be sensitive and a cop. You have to be hard nosed. Or you're just gonna like cry in the middle of your shift.
Not everyone can be a cop, but they're trying to make it so everyone can be a cop, whether you're overweight or you're a small little person that like has no training,
it's a hard line to cross, but I don't think that 100-pound woman should be a cop.
No, me neither.
Like it's kind of rough to stare at the lady and be like, you shouldn't be a cop, ma'am. But it's just so easy to overwhelm that lady for a criminal. Yep. And they're already trying to overwhelm fucking giant dudes. Like
I've seen a video of two like 5 foot tall chicks try to take down like this. Like the guy must have been at least 6.5 feet tall. Mm-hmm. And they can't do it. You know what I mean? He's just too big. They have to like use almost lethal force just to stop him over something stupid like a
lethal force, like or call really another guy, like another lady, another person.
Takes time, right?
And then you're basically just a security guard.
No, what happens is, and if that scuffle were to happen, then the other guys, it's a unwritten rule. You're gonna come, and then they're gonna really put it to boots. We didn't need to happen at all.
No,
general insurance.
It's sad, and like that's the way the military is going. They're being so accepting and inclusive, and like I don't think China's doing that, right? And I don't think they're intimidated by us doing that either.
I think everybody has a place in the military, but it's not everyone's place is up front with guns.
Exactly.
Like in a position where you might have to like grab someone and pull them to safety. You're
like, just regular 140-pound pack with your rifle. That's 25.
Right.
Yeah.
People need to be able to rely on you like mentally and physically.
I wonder what the retention of the military is these days in Canada.
I don't know.
That's got to be low, I'd assume. Like,
let me get to this comment real quick. Shay says my uncle was a guard at the Hilltop Hotel for 35 years. Even that changes people. Hell yeah, being a prison guard can be just as bad as a cop because you're dealing with the people that the cops have to deal with, but every day, like when you go to work, that's them. You're taking care of those people. They're throwing. I've heard nightmare stories, like because I considered that as a career at one point, and I heard nothing but bad things. Like, they treat the guards like shit, and they literally throw shit at them. Like,
and it's not only that, but they treat each other like shit, and you have to witness that. You have to go pick up the dude who just got fucking gang raped or something, and fucking help him out, right? Like that's not nothing on your psyche, especially if you're a sensitive person to begin with.
They did some kind of study, and it was like for like violent crimes or something. Like people in prison that were there for violent crimes, like 70 or 80% of them had fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yeah,
because they don't understand consequence to their actions, and so like
they don't understand consequence because of the fetal alcohol. Not opposite. Oh,
that's why I said that for Well, I get it. They don't have fetal alcohol syndrome because they don't understand the consequence. Yeah. That's why they don't understand the consequences. So like, anyways, so that kind of makes sense, right? Like those are the type of people that go to jail. Unfortunately, they're born into that life. They don't really have that choice necessarily.
And that's not all of it. Like there's lots of people who just, want what you have and fuck you, I'm going to take it.
But
right? Like
70% of those people have fetal alcohol syndrome.
I'll give you that, and we don't even know that because a lot of studies don't get done on every single criminal.
And it could be a lot different now. This is like
Karm.
this information is like 10 years old. But
I was going to say most people are like if you go, they're not cat burglars, they're crackheads.
Yeah,
most of the crime is.
Yeah, they're gonna go see if your car door is open, if your window's open. They're not gonna like boot your door down with the shotgun. Get on the fucking floor.
I'm talking about even the fetal alcohol. They're doing it for crack.
Yeah.
Basically, all the crime is happening. Most all of it. Like if you go up to the jail, it's everywhere, even federal level.
I think like the Jeffrey Dahmer fucking Night Stalker shit. That's got to be so rare.
Oh yeah.
Right. But not that it doesn't exist. It's got to be like 1 in fucking a billion or something like that.
And I wouldn't even put him in with the fetal alcohol syndrome people.
That's
a thing on its own.
That's what I'm saying. It turns a corner.
But that's also like not even a 1% of most people in prison.
No,
probably.
But this is just it. If you think, say tomorrow cops are defunded, no more policing anything, it's not just going to be these fetal alcohol syndrome guys that are going to take advantage of the weak and unable. But that's different
because you've removed consequences.
There you go. So what's standing between us? Is it the fetal alcohol syndrome and the inability to understand consequences, or is it just the fear of going to jail, getting your freedom taken away from you?
The conclusion of that study was that is the fact that they just don't understand consequence the way other people do, and like they're just born like that. And so it's just an interesting fact that the majority of people that have that end up in not the majority of people that have it, the majority of people in prison have that.
I'm not arguing their motives. I'm just arguing their proportion in society versus the rest of these criminals.
Exactly. Yeah, fair enough.
Right? Yeah.
Fair enough.
That so that you don't think I'm trying to go back and forth. We're working together.
No, but you would think that the percentage of like prisoners that have it and don't would almost relate to the ones that are out as well, right?
Otherwise you could just test every prisoner and 100% of them would show up with fetal alcohol syndrome or so. That is statistically impossible.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. But it's probably 70 or higher percent of around here, this region kind of criminals. Yeah, definitely.
Well, soon it's the number 6 way of dying in Canada. They'll just add in one of it's not mental disorders and add fetal alcohol syndrome for MAID.
Explain MAID to me. I don't understand what MAID is.
MAID is a medical assisted in suicide.
Okay. I just never called it that, I guess. Medical assisted
assistance in suicide.
That's something you can do in Canada now. If you want to die, you can die.
Yeah.
Like you can get professionally suicided.
Yeah.
Without talking shit about the Clintons.
Yeah, that's right.
I understand fully what you're saying. I'm just trying to put in the MAID. What's the I stand for? Induced death. Medically assisted induced death. I'm just pulling that one out of my ass, folks. If
that
you're
sounds
into
good enough to me.
Yeah. Anyway,
just call 811.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think something you wanted to get to was about how people who are against vaccines are now what is it? We're crazy now, or we have mental illness.
The College of Physicians in Ontario put out a letter to all the doctors saying that they should consider assuming that every person that thinks about their own body and their own choices is now insane. And
but say it the way they say it.
Let's say it a little more layman terms. So the people who disregard the vaccine status are now to be regarded as mentally impaired.
That's correct. As an actual mental disorder.
There we go.
It's a recommendation. Like to
treat them with psychiatric help.
Yeah.
That makes sense if people were dying left and right, but there's no bodies in the streets or anything. These people are acting like we're still killing grandma, right? Like 2 years ago.
It's a lot of gaslighting.
15 days, buddy, and 99.97%. And everyone's still very smart people will be like, well, but we did this. It's a 99.97.
Yeah. But I mean, in the early days when people are like, oh, but you're going to kill fucking everyone at Christmas dinner, like you didn't have a rebuttal to that. Now you do. You're like, we've been to 3 Christmas dinners. No one's died.
Yeah. And now we have more science
and
on
they're
our side.
doubling down.
Going back to May, there 16,000 people died of COVID last year. 10,000 people died of government-assisted lethal injection,
and 4 or 5 times that died of overdose.
Right. And I bet none of that holds a candle to one day in Chicago for homicides, right? Like it's nuts down there in some of these places. But no one's gonna consider that what are we calling this a pandemic? Obviously, for some reason I want to say genocide or whatever. There's people dying on the streets in our country, and yet people are still like, oh, we need to worry about like Syria.
We're gonna give money to Ukraine.
Yeah, what's the new one? Ukraine's the new one. Yeah. But we have people dying in our streets.
Yeah.
Like, how come we're not worried about that, but we're worried about the lack of hospital beds in our country too? Like,
so since we're on Ukraine, here's something funny. A Russian drone just caught Ukrainian soldiers taking the Ukrainian soldiers that don't want to fight out into the bush and executing them. A Russian drone caught them. And then after they do it, they notice the drone and start shooting at the drone, and it's too late. So that footage just came out. So basically, they're forcing the soldiers to fight that war.
Yeah, well, fighting age men weren't allowed to leave the country in the first place. That's why, right? Like, it doesn't take
there's dirty shit going on.
A genius to realize that you're not allowed to leave because we need you.
Proxy war,
right? I don't know. How far apart are Ukrainians from Russians? That's something I'd like to learn.
They're right next.
Oh, I understand geographically, but I just mean culturally. Like, how it's almost like
it used to be
Canadians fighting Americans, isn't it? Like, we're the same fucking thing.
Well, was that area not like a part of Russia?
I believe it was before World War II.
There's people in Ukraine that still like feel closer to Russia.
Yes,
feel closer to Russia than they do to Ukraine.
Right.
And
that same thing is true to say for Finland. I believe it used to be part of Russia before World War II.
Okay, but like places like Belarus and stuff like that, it's all the same thing. Like,
yeah.
The Soviet Union was like fucking huge
and broke
up.
Yeah. But I mean, from this far away, no one really knows. How many Ukrainians have you met? How many like authentic Ukrainians have you met that haven't been like Canadianized, whitewashed? Right? Yeah. We don't know, and the only people that do know are the people who have boots on the ground over there right now.
Like, look at a place like Dagestan. That's its own country, but they are all Russian as far as they're concerned. You know what I mean? Like, as far as everyone else is concerned, they're Russian, but they come from a country called Dagestan.
Right. Yeah. Right. And technically, that's all Asia. They're Asian too, right?
Continentally wise, yeah. And the thing is, not every place in the world recognizes continents the way we do. If you look up the list of continents, you'll find like 2 or 3 different ones. Some of them only have 5. Some of them group it into 7.
Yeah, and we grew up knowing 7. I can't believe that they count Europe as its own continent. Like, why?
I mean,
what's the argument there?
I think it has to do with like also like the agreements that like the countries that are in agreements. So like the European Union, like all those European countries get along. That's Europe. That's its continent. And then the Middle East, all those Middle Eastern countries, at least right now, get along.
I get it.
You know, it was all Persia at one point.
This is something to Google. What is the definition of a continent? Isn't it a landmass that's like, you know, basically an island?
I think you're right. Good point. I think you have a good point.
Like Australia is a continent. South America is a continent.
I think the fact that there's more than one list of continents and they both have different numbers, I think that would make the definition pretty vague. Vague as shit. And I'd be interested to hear someone smart as hell be like, well, actually, like blah 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 blah.
Well, they're going to change that anyway soon with the Agenda 2030 regions, so it's going to split up again.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
to districts, like 100 games.
Yeah. They're going to separate it out because it can't be one world person. It's going to be into sections, regions.
Yeah. Have you seen Hunger Games?
I have, and that's funny enough. I've seen a thing they're talking about the 15-minute city. This is a funny thing. Is like this is what the World Economic Forum. They're talking about the 15-minute city. And they got the region just like the Hunger Games. So
it's dystopian as shit. And that Yeonmi Park, the defector from North Korea that was on Joe Rogan, she likened North Korea to the scenario in the Hunger Games where there's districts. Those districts have a specific job. You never talk to another district. You never travel outside.
I've never seen that movie actually.
You've never seen it? Oh, it's a trilogy. There's 3 parts. There's 4 movies.
But if you could explain it, so like,
okay,
as if someone who has
okay, sure. I'm sure maybe someone somewhere. So basically, the year's 2077. The world's been demolished from nuclear war. All of America has been locked down, split into 13 different districts. And those districts, there's like a logging district, a mining district, a baking, and then a capital district. And all the elites live in the capital district and enjoy the fruits of everyone's labor.
Okay, yeah.
But you're never allowed to leave your district ever.
Yeah.
And she likened that directly to North Korea.
Okay.
Kind of. It's a high school level reading if you ever want to read the book. Yeah.
How about that other defector, that guy that got out of there and his stomach was packed full of worms?
Yeah. Parasites.
Like, because they use their own feces as fertilizer. I think they have to grow their own food, otherwise they'll probably starve.
It is viable to use human feces as fertilizer, but you need to eat the right diet, which they don't.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be eating like fruits and vegetables and like meat,
organic
like
shit.
not processed shit. Otherwise, you're gonna poop bad shit. Luciano just came in. He said, "I just made my popcorn. Put a tinfoil hat
right
on."
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, he's telling Karm to put a tinfoil hat on. He doesn't like your hat.
Oh,
you know what?
no.
You came over with a selection of hats.
No, but this is a RFED chip special.
It's yeah.
Keeps
Keeps Trudeau out of the brain. 100% Trudeau blocker.
Disconnects the neural link.
Yeah.
Yes.
Creepy shit. So yeah, more disabled veterans asking for assistance from the government are offered aid to die.
I've heard
this
about
is
that.
Creepy as shit. So like you risked your life for your country, you lose the ability to use your legs. This lady was asking for a fucking Medi-chair that brought her up and down her stairs.
And it was taking.
And the government said, if your life is so bad, why don't we just kill you? Like in so many words, that's exactly what they said.
No, actually, they literally have said that several times. They just recordings.
All because she wanted something to take her up and down the stairs.
She said she's crawling down the stairs on her ass
and
every
the
day.
System is taking too long to get it to her. And when she complained, they're like, "Well, would you rather us just kill you?"
Yeah,
like that's essentially what they said, which is fucked up.
And I mean, when you say it in legislative words, it sounds less brutal, but basically it's like you're in a gulag and they're like, "Oh, you don't like it? How about I shoot you?"
Yeah, pretty much. Like, would you rather be dead?
They're good at one thing. Really, really good at it.
Legislation?
Killing you.
Oh, there we go.
And the taxi for it too. I wonder how much money they're getting to do that. I have a friend that's a doctor, so I'm like, hey, you should.
How much money per person?
Yeah,
there we go.
Because there is some, because pharmacists and nurses can do it, nurse practitioners, not even a medical professional is needed. Yeah. They removed it, so now it's like no longer, it's the same day. And the part that's the biggest slippery slope, and get this, you don't even have to, you just verbally say it.
Yeah.
No record.
Blink twice.
That's scary because they could just do it and say, well, he said he wanted
fucking blinked.
As soon as your family leaves, they're like,
he looked at me crossways.
Yeah, he blinked twice. Yeah. Jesus.
God damn it.
I told him blink twice. He blinked 3 times. But at one point, it was 2 blinks.
It was. He blinked twice. God damn it. I noticed the second blink.
Yeah.
It was 5 minutes later, but I noticed.
He's thinking those wrong thoughts.
Yeah.
I promise he said it.
Yeah.
That's scary that they don't need written
it's
consent.
Scary.
I guess some people can't write though.
Well,
and in that case, it should be changed.
Can't write, can't talk. Yeah.
Top way in the world. Number 6 way of dying in Canada.
What
really?
Is?
It's assisted suicide.
The top 6 reason for death in Canada?
Yes.
One in every 30 deaths.
When you say assisted suicide, are you including abortion?
No.
This is something
that was speeded up too, right? That's the death panel. Remember,
this is
Bill
something
Gates
new.
Death panel.
If we counted that, then it'd be through the fucking roof.
Yes. Yeah.
1 in 30 deaths in Canada is medically assisted suicide.
Really?
1 in 30 deaths was the statistic I pulled out of the internet.
Because eventually you get to a point where life just sucks, I guess.
Well, there are many occasions where it would be merciful. It would be, a good thing to offer this person, like, hey, you can't even pick up a gun and shoot yourself. Would you like me to do it for you? But
after all of those steps,
yeah.
But right now it's on the same day, so we've had bad days. So like,
yeah. And a lot of people don't have the balls to pick up the gun and shoot themselves in the face, but they still are living in horrible pain every single day.
But there's been grief for everyone's life, or often it's like my kid, I just feel like, and if it's like on the same day, you're like, okay, I'll just call this number.
Right.
Okay, we'll be right over.
It's same. There should be
Dr. Death showing up.
You need like even in America, you need like a 10-day waiting period to buy a gun or something. Or I believe, but no, we don't even need a waiting period on your suicidal thoughts.
Yeah, and how about the kids can do it now in Toronto hospitals?
Yeah,
and it happened in Quebec as well. So
a
12-year-old can just go ahead and you don't
you
don't have to tell your mom.
Next thing you know, there's going to be booths on the sidewalk that kill you.
But there was a time when you couldn't do it, and I remember this one specific case where I think it was a woman. She was like paralyzed. She was basically a vegetable, couldn't talk. All she could do is look around. And she had to watch her husband, who kept coming to see her, had to watch him like move on, get a new wife, have new kids, and eventually it's just like this chick is just like laying there for like 10 years. I don't know how long, but it's like she doesn't want that either. It's just torture, right? Imagine just laying there all day,
just laying there getting bed sores and stuff.
And and whether or not you can even like feel it because you're paralyzed, it's your mind just being there on, and you can't move.
Yeah,
forever.
There's
there's
a great argument for it. I just like buying a gun. I think there should be a waiting period of like background check.
There should be the steps in place. If someone wants to, and we believe in freedom, then who are we? But when the way it is now, there's nothing. Yeah. There's no barrier. There's nothing. You're in the same day.
Yeah.
So that's insane.
That's insane. But I mean, most stuff is when it first comes out. Like the internet was insane when it first came out, right? And now it's getting regulated. Slowly but surely it's getting regulated. Yeah, but
too. You just showed me human skin.
Sorry, Karm?
Wouldn't they know that, hey, maybe you might have a second guess, just like most people are depressed. Yeah. Will come out of that depression.
Yeah, exactly. Give it a waiting period. Offer something other than killing them, maybe.
Well, at least someone to talk to everybody. Here's a volunteer phone call.
Like, I don't know. Like, there should almost be like a judge hearing. Like, I allow you to die. Or something.
Unless the conspiracy would be this is what they want to happen.
Yeah.
There you go.
Lefty Lucy in the comments says, "Abortion's murder, not suicide." I ain't touching that one.
Yeah, you're not doing it to yourself. Maybe like hillbilly abortions are. You just drink yourself stupid. Fell down the stairs. That'd be murder.
How about we were talking about that clothing commercial, the one retailer, the big retailers, I don't know, Adidas or Nike, just do it. But they got the one, it looks pretty kind of beautiful. They show the way like kill yourself.
No, I saw that just an hour ago. I could send you that and we could play it. It's an advertisement from a fashion company glorifying this woman's right to die medically assisted. And it's like, you sell clothes, bitch. What the fuck are you touting this shit on me for?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with someone's right to fucking kill themselves.
But why is it being, when we'll play it, I'll send you this. It's like we'll play it. It's glorifying it hardcore to the point where it's almost like a Sandals resort. Like, hey, come check out our cool fucking Bahamas facility.
Is how the liberals going to balance their budget?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how they're going to balance their budget. Saves a lot of money.
Cut it in half.
Yeah. Speed up the slow lethal injection to the immediate one.
Okay, I'm sending you that right now.
All right, let's play it.
Boom. But that's just a conspiracy.
It's a Fox News article. I don't know if you want to play the whole thing or if you want to scan through
Fox News article.
Yeah. But yeah, creepy ass shit left and right. It's like we can't catch a break. What are you drinking?
Hold on. This music playing still.
Advertisement. Okay.
There we go.
Only the best here. Crowded room.
Doesn't go far.
Okay, here we go.
Think that social media removing someone from the world around them doesn't go far enough. Last year, A shocking 1 in 30 deaths in the country were due to assisted suicide. Now, if that statistic wasn't depressing enough, consider how it's being packaged to citizens there.
Last breaths are sacred. When I imagine my final days, I see bubbles. I see the ocean. I see music. Even now, as I seek help to end my life, there is still so much beauty. You just have to be brave enough to see it.
Talk about a dystopian, sick advertisement. But that's only part of the story.
I mean, we don't need to hear.
She goes on to explain that was a company that sells clothes. They're a fashion company. That
Canadian retailer.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. And that was an American news.
So CBC was playing it up, you know,
Yeah.
like they had the old time fiddler from Newfoundland, and they loved this. Or all
Dude,
over.
it's like
My buddy
Down
just
their
sent me
budget.
this. BlackRock says get ready for a recession unlike any other. And
people have been saying that for a while.
what BlackRock just said.
Oh.
And what worked in the past won't work now. Yeah, they're doing a reset.
That's a conspiracy.
No one's working anymore.
That's why it's on the conspiracy episode.
It's so hard to find
This
a
is all-
young apprentice these days. No one wants to work.
It's unbelievable.
No
Yeah.
one wants to actually like do a hard job anymore. Everyone can make money on YouTube or
Yeah,
fucking
my
OnlyFans.
good white hat guy now recently, and he is mind blown. He just recently got a upgrade in his job, and no one wants to work.
no one.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I've got one guy in the last like 3 years. There's been one guy out of high school that actually wants to show up, wants to learn, doesn't mind using a shovel, getting dirty, and he shows up every day happy to be there. One guy. And we put out ads left and right, like we need guys, but
It's culture. It's nuts.
it's culture. It's a lot of demonizing these blue collar jobs that's happened throughout like the last decade or so of wokeness. It's disheartening because houses need to be built, right? Like what are you going to go live in?
Very often you make
hut?
more money than too. When I worked, I was working at a sawmill and the plywood plant. Everybody had a degree, chemical degree, and let's go. They all had degrees, but they're in the because they make good money.
I really worry
Better
about
than they made in their degrees.
when this generation goes to retire and they don't have pension because they did YouTube their whole life or something, right? Like, hopefully they all make it.
Just be an influencer or start a podcast.
Yeah, hey, quit your job, motherfucker. It's great
I
money.
remember this one guy thought we made money on this podcast.
Right.
It's like, you don't know how this world works.
Yeah,
man.
It's
Like,
just a good topic to talk shit about us, right? Like,
thought-
oh, you're exploiting people for money. Like, bitch, donate to my fucking GoFundMe.
yeah.
and then we'll talk.
Hit me up on Patreon.
Yeah.
Hey, going speaking back to that maid there is when one of my original conspiracy theory podcasts when we were back there earlier, and it was about democide.
Yeah.
And the number one way in the world that people die is governments killing them. And this
Really?
is a fact. This is 100%. 260 million people, more than all world wars. So it just happens to be the top way in Canada, right? They're gonna help you out.
You mean through war and stuff, right?
Yeah, all the wars
Yeah.
combined, more
Yeah,
people
yeah,
have died. Just
And then
governments killing
I've
themselves,
also heard that
killing
more
their own
people have
citizens.
died in the name of God than anything else.
Well, war. That's the same
In
thing.
the name of God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
And who sent them to that war but their government?
religious government.
Yeah. Church and state.
Yeah.
It's sad. I'm not going to fight against that. That statistic sounds pretty accurate. I don't know.
Yeah, you can look it up.
Right. We'd have to look that one up.
260 million people.
Right.
Democide.
In
You
total.
could easily add it up.
Yeah.
There's 60 million, 20 million.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Democide?
Democide.
Democide. Okay.
It does include several different. It's your own government killing you in different ways, right?
Oh, it sounds
Actually-
like demonic or something when you say demo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, brought, and I think
Yeah.
that did it too about the 10 stages of genocide as well.
Please enlighten us.
What's the difference between genocide and democide?
Democide includes a many different. It was defined through I think he was a social scientist or some sort. He classified it in a better way.
It's not just one group of people, I think.
It's so
like-
many different ways. It's not just the definition of genocide.
I'm pretty sure in order to consider it genocide, you need to be like trying to wipe one specific group of people off of the map.
That's right.
Right.
The dissenters.
Luch says, what makes me sick is how they're treating our veterans, and they know so many are suffering from
PTSD.
I think you meant PTSD.
Pacific Standard Time.
They're suffering from the PST tax.
Yeah.
And the time zone. I'm not sure which one you meant. The tax.
I love the English
love
language. Obviously, we know what he means, and like it's a perfectly like poignant thing to talk about. Yeah. But one little fucking typo.
Forgot the D.
Was, oh!
Forgot the D, Luch.
Say like we're arguing. Yeah, there you go.
You're supposed to say that.
Do not bump.
I'm pretty sure that's a pronoun.
Yeah, you fucked up. You know you fucked up, right? That's a scary one.
So we're 40 minutes in. We've covered 40 conspiracy theories.
Too many to count.
Got some high density content tonight.
Here's one. San Francisco police now allowed to use robots to kill people.
Yep.
Lethal Force by robot. I think I saw this movie once.
But that doesn't mean that the robot gets to make that choice. That means the cop can allow that robot to kill someone.
They don't have AI that smart.
No, I fucking hope
otherwise
not.
It kills everybody.
Otherwise, I seen that movie.
No, I think it's kind of like a drone where like some kid on a fucking controller is sitting there walking this robot around the street. I don't know.
It's just like a Facebook, those fact checkers, same thing.
Yeah.
Routers.
Trust us.
Yeah. San Francisco's crazy. That's the original place where they defunded, not defunded, but they legalized criminal activity under $1,000.
That's what the Satanic Temple is as well.
Right.
First place. Yeah.
And that's where you got Twitter. That's where you got everything. Like San Francisco it's creepy that it runs so much and it's so diehard liberal.
But then there's Florida. You guys hear about the latest Florida man incident?
No, what's this?
Oh, he had sex with a dog and then ruined a nativity scene.
That guy,
Florida
that
man has
doing
sex
stuff.
with
Yeah, that guy's busy.
He was busy that
He's
day.
ambitious. Yeah. I like that guy.
Yep. So there's that. Every day, a Florida man does something crazy.
Right. But how many fucking Twitter headquarters are in Florida, right?
Well, what about the just another Florida news from yesterday? It's happened overseas as well with entire countries. Now Florida is charging 3 companies for selling a fraudulent product because they admit it as fraudulent.
Yeah. You think
DeSantis is suing?
Well, what companies are those?
DeSantis is suing over mRNA vaccines.
Correct. And it's also happening. I remember the word is going to cause problems. They're in the European Parliament also had it. So Croatia, entire government with hundreds of scientists and doctors.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of science could they have? It's amazing how people won't come to the board, and we're talking about this conspiracy. The
I said so science.
Well, they're just everywhere all around. Even friends that I would say like, "Hey, I'm on the the podcast." It's like, what are you doing? I would, you know what? Besides the funny dick jokes or whatever,
exactly.
But you know what? But the stuff that's I don't want to talk. I literally will not look at or talk about it if I can't verify it or it's real good enough.
Yeah.
It's not a conspiracy theory episode.
Yeah, I get it, and we like to jest. Yeah, we like to talk shit.
That's the thing.
It's really hard to find conspiracy theories these days. Like it used to be like a novelty kind of thing, like 9/11's fake and all this, but it's few and far between these days. It's just fucked up news articles that are coming out now. Like,
did there's people, so many of them, you know them, they think there's zero conspiracy theories. What any of them are?
Dude, I had a nurse the other day, a nurse I've brought up on this podcast before. She told me that mRNA vaccine stopping transmission is basic medical science. And you don't have to be a fucking nurse to know that that's wrong. Like,
yeah.
I think, how about they admitted it in court? It doesn't do it.
That's what I mean. That was after they admitted it in court in front of the EU. So it's like, so I was just like, really? I was like, why don't you look it up and show it to me? You know, it's like, I don't know. It's just crazy that these smart people, they think they know all this stuff and they think we're the crazy ones. You know, we're the ones that care enough to learn about it.
Okay, how about this? You want to follow into the conspiracy? Put it in order. Okay, so you got the Ontario College physicians saying now it's a mental disorder to have.
Yeah.
And they added the mental disorder to the medical suicide. Now they got the bill C-36. Doctors cannot say anything against what they're doing. What's to say they're just are prescribing it?
Yeah.
And you literally are not going to sign NDA. You're immediately in jail. And, you'll be like, there was like, well, we'll just take up with the mission. We're going to check them in jail.
Basically.
Just hide them in. And if there's a conspiracy with the fact checkers, and everything else.
It's odd.
It's pretty sketchy stuff.
It's
going
dystopian.
on.
And if nobody pushes back, it's just going to be new law in 20 years or something. It's just going to be the way it is, right?
Yeah.
Like,
what's
normal.
What's messed up is like, doctors, they learn a lot when they're in school, right? And then when they get out of school and they start practicing, they don't have to like read every new scientific article.
You never get your doctor's license pulled for
they don't.
inadequacy.
They don't actually have to be up to date on any science. So a doctor that's been practicing for 30 years, a lot of things have changed, especially in nutrition and stuff like that. The things that we think or know are bad for us and good for us have changed. Like when I was a kid, eggs were bad, cholesterol was bad. Now we know that there's good cholesterol.
No,
eggs
but
are good
the
for
thing
you.
is, does gravity change?
No.
So what we're told is wrong.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I can't mention his name. I talked to a doctor yesterday morning.
Yeah.
He's going through unbelievable grief because of what's happened and what he learned and what he has. His tickets. He's like he's in a level where it's you wake up and go, wait a minute. Medically adjusted suicide is the number one way, right?
It's scary.
to finish my thought here, so we have, excuse me, and I'm not trying to say doctors don't know what they're talking about. Obviously, they learned a lot. That's what I mean. They learn a lot in school, but nothing's forcing them to stay up to date with things. And a guy that's been practicing for 30 years, I'm 35 years old. The science has changed many times in my lifetime. If they're not required to follow that, right? However, another thing is, when it comes to prescribing medication, like Visor does their own homework. All these things, all these companies, they do their own homework, their own research, and then they give them a summary, and they go based off that. There's no like the FDA doesn't have like official documents like they actually did this. They're like, oh,
well, the FDA is owned by them. This is factually right in front of everything.
And so that's why our whole lives there's been lawsuits for all these medications. Because they tell the doctors it's good. The doctors prescribe it based off their information that could easily be wrong. Yeah. And then people get fucked up and doctors are not liable.
A lot of these doctors can't be blamed because they're just trying to make it to their pension. They're just trying to feed their kids and stuff too. It's kind of like the cop that like is sent to the domestic dispute or something. Like he's not the bad guy just because he's throwing you on the ground and putting handcuffs on you.
I'm not trying to say he's just trying to do his job.
There's a couple guys that apparently got a good body count going on, competition with
for
Epstein.
Doctors.
Yeah, the made right,
right. Yeah,
one guy, he'll just knock you off in a second. I just collecting that premium, right?
He's gonna get a giant.
There's two types, right?
Yeah, champ.
You got the two types. You got the quick shot finish and the slow shot finish, right? Let's do it.
Take your
help your economy.
Yeah.
Well, we want to help out the climate, right?
Yeah.
Here, let me tell you what happened the other day. Actually, I got a knock on the door. Guy showed up on my door.
Really?
Actually relates to what happened today with this Cap 25.
I don't know what that is.
Anyways, I'll explain to you actually. So it's all happening right now. The conspiracy. The conspiracy.
Oh, that's the first conspiracy.
Yeah. So anyways, he comes to my door and he's like, yeah, you know what? They're gonna stop gas furnaces 2030. Might as well get switching. Here's your rebates.
Get some wood.
This is happening. And this is the Agenda 2030. This is a carbon zero, net zero. And so what happened is Blackface Castro was in a Cap 25. I believe it's in Vancouver. It's funny they beat up all the Indigenous people for this reason.
Explain what Cap 25 is.
It's another has to do with the.
It's like a G20 summit.
This is all based upon 1982 climate change. It's all based upon that. It's all based upon their main agenda, which is to
like a Paris Accord.
It's steering everything. So everything that's happening with every major social agenda is based upon this globalist agenda happening. It eventually started in 92, and then 2030 happened 2014. Yeah, it's funny, both of conservative governments. So, right. So they're going to help you. Okay. Harper and actually Pierre Poilievre happened to be there at the table, signed on for 2030. The 17 is sustainable goals. If you listen to the Trudeau speech when he talks about the Great Reset, he says, "Oh, the 17 SDGs." So they're trying to kind of hide it and shift it around, change the names.
That's true. They also, a lot of people signed that Paris Accord and nothing came of it.
But the point is, Paul Revere was asked actually one time, because he doesn't do any talking, but one time just took a picture and goes, "Hey, what about the 17 sustainable goals? Like, how come you never said anything?" He goes, "I don't know what they are." So there you go. That's what you're gonna get for that. But a lot of people, that's what's going on.
I think in the end, regardless of, if what you say is true, let's say whether we vote for Justin Trudeau or Pierre Poilievre, we're doomed in the end. I would.
They all did it.
I would say that, like,
that brought us to this point.
At the very least, like, if those are our choices, like, I would say at least Pierre is like against a lot of the things I'm against and stands for a lot of the things I stand for. So I would rather go to hell with him in charge than Justin Trudeau. If we're all going to hell and this place is gonna fucking burn down anyways, and we're all fucked no matter what, I'd rather him be in charge of the ship. That's
the problem is literally it's you go to like Middle Eastern places, they've already got their thumb on this. They put armed guards in schools, they put them everywhere, and guess who fucks around? No one. Like it's sad, but eventually we're gonna need armed guards at McDonald's is what that cop that I was talking, the retired cop, he speculates that, like, literally you're gonna have to hire your own private security, and the cops are probably going to set up a training.
Sounds like South Africa.
That's what I'm saying. They had to do this because it got so bad. We're getting that bad slowly, but we're losing the battle, is what you say. Like, eventually it's going to get bad.
The thing is, why would it need to happen any of it?
Yeah. Why?
Hey, it's a 99.97 survival rate.
Why is scarcity? Why is psychology? Conspiracy. That's it.
Yeah.
Dun,
one thing I want to say about the Cap 25, because it happened today. Yeah. They separated 30% of the this is all Agenda 2030 clearly. Same with what happened with this caribou. They banned the hunters because they've been slowly pushing to their goal, and it's all written.
Get all guns gone.
The thing is, it's all right there, and
it's
that's
all right there. And when was the last time people tried to take your guns?
Dude, it's a UN agenda. There's the actual thing. You can read it. It's all there. The gun confiscation as well. So it's all happening to the UN agenda.
It's creepy. Yeah. Mass shootings are what we're worried about. Those don't happen with long rifles. No. Those don't happen with bolt action fucking chick fucking come here.
But Justin Trudeau will say they were designed to kill as many people as possible in the shortest amount of time. And it's like he's like getting rid of specific actually rifles that are meant for hunting birds and stuff. Like, one of them even has bird in the fucking name of the gun. It's like,
they're designed for accuracy and follow-up shots.
He had the airsoft rifles.
Oh, really?
On that first ban,
yes.
He had a coffee company.
These really hurt you guys.
No, he had Black Rifle Coffee Company in that first gun ban,
right? And no one vetted that.
They put airsoft rifles that they didn't know weren't real rifles. They put companies' names in there that I don't know how the fuck they got in there. Like, oh, it says Black Rifle, we better ban that. Oh, it says rifle.
Well, it's like the other group think that makes you, if you think a certain way, you're insane. Actually, and they, as college visions say,
and the sad part is when you live in a big city, you have to think that way almost. Like, you can't.
Otherwise, people will think you're crazy.
Well, no. Otherwise, you annoy the shit out of it because you live on top of each other. You don't want to be living with your upstairs neighbor playing their music all the time, so you don't play your music all the time, and it just kind of like molds out like that. And everyone kind of cares. Everyone's like, hey, we don't need a cop or we don't need a gun because all I have to do is go 1 block down the road and there's a cop. When you live in the middle of nowhere and there's an hour drive to the nearest cop, you do need a gun. So you can't legislate cities and rural places the exact same. And that, I feel like that's the impetus that we can't seem to cross.
For the same reason I was saying earlier, like, not everyone should be a cop. Those people who shouldn't be allowed to be cops, like people that are like physically just like small, like say a midget. How about this? A midget, okay? Should a midget be able to carry like a gun to defend themselves, because honestly, like any one of us could just like take them and do whatever we want with them because they're a midget. And I'm not making fun of them.
No more, bro.
I'm not making fun of them. I'm just saying this is a reality. They're very small. I could just pick them up and take them, and you never see them again.
You could stuff them in your little duffel bag.
Like, I believe that person has the right to defend themselves from something like that, and that's why I believe like anyone who passes like the right mental wellness checks and things like that, the proper vetting, should be allowed to carry. And
well, how about this? Let's look at the peer numbers once again. They never talk about any. Oh, beside the numbers, all legal gun owners, this just doesn't happen. Period.
Yep.
Never has. So there you go. Shut and done.
Well, exactly. Plus, not only that, it's
over.
You literally, like, it's statistically impossible to go door to door and take every single person's gun away from them. Because, like, what it's just just go bury it in the backyard and then they move on.
What's
past
happening right now with 2 years of like what happened with the trucker, the convoy, and they found that everything you said and lying clearly in court, where blackface, most racist prime minister worldwide, he's known as a joke.
He's embarrassed us so hard.
Ireland just called him out again. Hey, they're actually like, concerned about Canada.
Just 2-3 years ago, when I was in Thailand, it was so proud of being Canadian and nothing. Now I would hide my face. Like if I had a Canadian tattoo, I'd cover it up, right? Like it's
in your face.
It's sad the complete 180 that Canada has taken in the world stage, and I credit it all to this extremist leftism. It's too far. It's way too much.
You know what's funny? My mom, it is a Punjabi thing that they say "Kala muh kar deta." That means I gave you a black face. It's a Canadian, motherfucker. Yeah, and I'm gonna kill you. Yeah, suicide. Help you out.
Give you a black face. I can take
that's
it
how
back.
we balance our economy, right? So we help you out. You're homeless, we kill you. That's what's happening, legitimately. You know, we're laughing about it, but it's like it's unbelievable that it's that level. It's no joke, but it's
sad. It's scary.
Speaking of blackface, my buddy sent me a video. It was a trailer to a movie from like the 80s. And the plot of the movie is that there's no jobs for white guys. They're giving them all out to black guys. Yeah. It's easier to get a job as a black guy because they're
affirmative hire.
Yeah. So this guy does blackface, and it's in the 80s. So I guess it wasn't offensive, but he pretends to be black to get a job. And this trailer is super serious. Like it's not a joke.
It never used to be that bad. Remember that? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
My final comment was, I didn't know Justin Trudeau did movies.
I didn't know he did movies. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I step on your punchline?
No, it was a shitty punchline.
I didn't know that was a punchline.
But no,
remember that Wayne's Brothers movie, White Chicks, where they were in full on whiteface the whole time? That creeped me out so hard.
I never even watched that movie because it looks so weird. Even just the
poster, like it was a creepy, like get out of there. And they're chicks too. Like,
could you imagine a movie where two white chicks pretend to be black guys? Would never happen.
That would be the creepiest thing in the world.
I believe that's the pronouns won't be.
They'll be different. Yeah, exactly.
That's our actual pronouns.
It's in like try to make Robert Downey Jr. doing the black character in Tropic Thunder. That he did it so well that people can't really criticize him.
The story was written well enough around the character too that like that's just like him as an actor. Like he really plays the role. So it's like nowadays you almost like couldn't get away with that. And
I don't think
it's not that it's only like 10-15 years ago, but like it's crazy.
It was the funniest thing in the world too. Everyone left,
and it wasn't offensive. It wasn't.
No, not at all. And if it were, like, you'd think someone would have said something by now. Everyone's like trying to throw everyone over the coals.
Yeah, man. And the truth is, people complain about everything. So like, it matters like how many people are complaining, and no one's complaining about that.
No one complains about that. No one complains about the Wayans brothers, but everyone shits on Trudeau for the blackface.
And you know what? Never forget.
No, that's a discrepancy that we need to recognize and maybe give him some fucking slack on, because I bet he wasn't the only blackface guy at that party.
Yeah, but is what I'm getting. So he constantly did it.
That time, maybe,
He constantly did it. It was more than once, right?
I assume.
Remember, he can't remember how many times he did it because he doesn't know how many times there's evidence of him doing it. So he doesn't want to give an actual number.
This is interesting
because the actual number is high.
He did he dressed up in like a turban and stuff too.
Oh yeah.
As a white guy, I don't have the stance to make an opinion on that. How does that make you feel, Karm?
I personally, and I feel a lot of people feel that this could be another kind of, it's hard to say, a cultural appropriation thing with it.
Yeah,
this is a term that's been pushed on us because go to the Canada Day, they'd love to put turbans on everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's teaching about your culture and stuff. But you're right, that would be so. It's so funny that he's on this side talking. It's just most massive hypocrisy.
I was gonna say it's more about him being a hypocrite than you being offended, right?
Yes.
Like I know, I think I know you pretty well. I can't see you being offended by it. That being said, I also can't see us doing that.
No. But I don't value my opinion on that matter because I'm not brown, because I don't have family members, like I have no stake in the game, so I value your opinion on that matter.
Nate wants to call in.
It would help Nate, your religion or whatever
right.
So,
I don't see it as a negative thing. So it's almost like cultural awareness, like, hey, this exists.
The more we joke around, we have it's fine. That
a lighthearted thing to it, like girls dressing up as Pocahontas at Halloween. I don't see a negative aspect to that, right?
It's the divisiveness that's causing the segregations, the division, and that's just built into the.
And it seems almost cyclical.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna dive into the shit and we're gonna come out.
It doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be, no. But it seems as if it's been. What are we doing? No, we don't hear you very well.
Is it connected?
No. Well, I don't know. We played that video through there.
Say something, Nate.
Say Bapa Booey. Hello. No, I don't hear you very well.
Hello. It's coming from the phone.
Fuck. Check your phone. I am paired to you.
For some reason, it's not coming through the phone, dude.
I'm paired to you.
And Karm, I've followed you from the beginning. I think you're a fucking awesome person.
Thank you, brother.
Like we don't even know each other, and I've seen the way that you built up Kaitan and everything, and I've met some of your students, and I think that's such a beautiful fucking thing that you're doing. I mean, this community would be lost without the people like you. Like, I mean, super spiritual.
Thank you, brother. And I try to live my life that way for sure, 100%.
I don't even know you, man. Like, I don't even know you, man.
You've never came to the club. You've never met Karm before, hey? This is our friend.
I've never met Karm before.
No, this is our friend Nate. He would usually be here hanging out with us, but he moved down to Vancouver, make himself a better life, and leave us behind.
Switchblade Union is getting back together. He's coming back.
He's moving back?
No, I'm trying to convince him to.
There we go. Yeah, we got to do this garage band shit, bro. Come on.
Let's do hood rat shit.
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah. And, thank you, Nate. Have you been listening to the episode tonight?
Hell yeah. No, I have. And okay, so for the most part, I've been like just getting drunk because that's what I do.
Okay.
I mean, this is my Friday.
Hey, I'm not getting on your ass, bro.
If it was your Friday, that means you had to work yesterday.
They did.
I know.
It's more like my Tuesday.
Or today, even.
Okay. So I didn't work yesterday.
You didn't work yesterday.
It's more like he's at the end of his vacation. I think that's more accurate.
Yeah. There's no prerequisites to listening to us, Nate. We appreciate it, no matter what your inebriated state.
He just got back from Mexico. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
God damn it! I never got back without a tan.
How do you explain that tan?
Your guys' podcast has been very inspirational to me.
Thank you. What have we inspired you to do?
Watching two of my Alex, I know this is hard for you, but just shut up.
Thanks, Nate. I forgot about that.
I know that, like, I love both you guys.
Why are you yelling?
Watch you guys grow, and like, you guys have made such a great podcast, and I'm so proud of you guys. Like, honestly, like, you guys talk about such great things, and you have such great things to say.
We appreciate it. Thank you, Nate.
But, no, I mean that sincerely. Like, I love you, Alex.
I took it sincerely, and I thanked you sincerely. And I really appreciate it. And I love you too,
like
bro.
now we need to argue now.
Yeah, you sound like you're on one. You really.
Nate's like, I wish Alex would just
I wish he would just say something rude.
Yeah. But no, I love both of you guys, man.
Love you too, Nate. And we'd love to
do such a great thing.
We'd love to have you on.
What needs to be talked about. I think it's such a beautiful thing, and I don't know. I'm drunk. So.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Hey, Nate, we'd love to have you featured on one episode soon. But
I would love to.
Yeah.
I think that would be my greatest honor, honestly.
Me too.
Bro,
I told him if he comes back to town, he could be on the podcast.
Right. It'd be a little dicey on Skype. But either way, we appreciate it. Thank you for calling in, Nate. This is a treat. We don't usually get this kind of a treat around here.
It's honestly a treat for me, bro. Because I love you both like my brothers.
And for those who don't know, he made the beat in the intro song.
You're cutting him off.
Hey, man, I know at the end of the day, both of you guys have my back, and I cannot ask for more of a friend than both you guys have always shown me. So,
yeah. Man, if you got in a fight down in Vancouver, I'd rush down there and beat his ass.
There we go. Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
I got your back, but it might be tomorrow.
Hell yeah, bro. And so I would love to be on your guys' podcast, and I will. And I just want to say that I'm drunk and love you guys. And
thank you, Nate.
Good luck on the rest of your journey.
Hell yeah.
Great. Thank you for calling in. That was amazing.
Thanks for calling in, bro.
We love you. We're going to get back to Karm now.
Love you, buddy.
See you, dude.
And find out more from Nate next week, Thursday at 7.
That was Nate Rinvold, ladies and gentlemen.
Nate.
Okay, I love you, bro.
Oh, he's still there. See you later, dude.
What?
I'm still tuning in.
Oh,
okay.
Sounds good.
That's great.
Fuck yeah.
See you.
See you, bro. Talk to you after.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, God.
Well, last word.
Let me look at Alex.
Yeah. Say one sign off, one word, one sentence.
I love you, Alex.
I love you too, bro. I hope I actually see your flesh and bones.
It's lust. It's not love.
Okay.
See you later.
See you, bro.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, our podcast is gonna get put in the LGBTQ plus category if you keep going on. So
Did you see what happened in Boston actually recently? They had a private school.
I'll call you after, okay? After the podcast is done.
And they had
Peace.
some butt plugs
Love you.
and dildos for the kids to look at it, like a science fair kind of. All the kids are all looking
Really?
at it. Project Veritas got a video on it.
Where is this? Do you know?
It's in Boston.
Boston.
Yeah, it's
Let me write this down. I'll check it out.
Yeah,
Boston
It's brand
child
new.
exploitation.
Yeah, no, it's like it's a conspiracy, right? It's a worldwide
it's
thing
another
that's
one.
happening. It's another.
Those don't exist.
Normalization. No.
Let's not start that
Well,
shit.
we could never do that.
Conspiracy theories
Or this
just don't
video is
last.
going to be banned.
Have you heard that Indiana is suing TikTok?
Why?
The state of Indiana is suing TikTok
For ruining humanity, or
for having questionable content and the privacy agreements that that were disclosed on the Joe Rogan episode of a couple months ago. You remember that? No, they went through Joe and I forget who was his guest, went through the terms and agreements on TikTok, and some of the shit is like if you have it on your phone and I'm connected to your Wi-Fi, they can go onto my phone.
Yes.
If like say you and your
This is
roommate have two different computers, they can go on both of them just because you accepted the terms and conditions on your phone.
so they can go to any device on your Wi-Fi because through the terms.
Doesn't even have to be a friend of yours. It has to be in the vicinity and connected to the same Wi-Fi.
And that's wrong. So people that are being affected by that, who aren't on TikTok, who are getting their things looked at, should be able to have their case hold up in court as far as privacy issues, because you can't tell someone that they can look at my stuff just because we're on the same internet connection.
We'll see in the court case, but you accepted the terms. And
but you didn't accept them for me, though. And there's nothing in life that lets you accept something for me. I have to accept it. So that'll fail in court.
We'll see. It has to go through court. Another court case coming up here, the Uvalde victims. You remember Uvalde, Texas shooting? The school, the little kids got shot up in the school, and all the cops kind of delayed and stood there. Yeah. They're being sued for $27 billion in a class action lawsuit with all the families of the victims. $27 billion.
The number seems a bit high, but on the other hand, what they did and what could have been done and what they wanted to do, and clearly, once again, it's a conspiracy. There's no such thing. Yeah. But
the odd part is there's been other cases like this that have already gone through Supreme Court, which doesn't deal with like a normal law like a judge would. Supreme Court deals with, is this constitutionally accurate? Is this against or for the Constitution? They've already seen cases like this and ruled that police are under no obligation to protect you. That was what was ruled previously, which is in legal words, it's called precedent. They've already made legal precedent by having this case previously. So it's almost like lawyers are saying, hey, this is already done. Get it through. The cops are free and clear.
Wouldn't you say that like that wording almost makes it sound like they're at fault if they fail to protect you? And there will be situations where they can't succeed to protect you. You know what I mean? So don't you think like they shouldn't be held to like legally to protect you, no matter like if you die, it's on them kind of thing? It's like it should be to a certain extent, but where do you draw that line?
I don't know. Like, a judge would know more than us.
What happens if you're in front of someone protecting them and the bullet goes by you and kills them, and now you failed?
At least you had your gun out and you were staring at the perpetrator. These guys were standing in the hallway for hours.
Yeah, see, that's different. Yeah, that fair enough. Yeah, that's different.
Is the argument for the lawsuit. The thing is, legal precedence has already stated that cops are under no obligation to protect and serve.
It's just, and when it comes to those things, like the wording is so important, right? Which is why I kind of dissect that a little bit. Like the way they word things, like
it's on purpose too.
Absolutely. The way they word things is very on purpose.
Yeah.
So when things are left out, that's always on purpose. When things are vague, that's always on purpose. So they can manipulate that law. When there's
goes through a lot of scrutiny.
There's a reason, right?
Have you heard of this? The lawsuit, is that news to you?
I know of the whole story and what happened exactly. They shot the moms and the parents, and people are like, "Get in! I'm trying to save."
It was a big story for a while,
kind of. And they had videos of it, and it was nuts what was happening.
It was pretty viral,
and it was just in the cops. Remember when they had them recorded and they're on their body cams and they could hear them what they're saying. Yeah, and what's going on, the shooting going on, they're just talking about random stuff,
checking their phone, texting people. It's a little creepy for sure.
So one thing we never went over was the fact that he's trying to outdo the Italians with his gift for us.
Who's this?
So he brought us the biggest bottle of rum I ever did see. Look at this fucking thing.
India versus Italy.
Can you even buy that here? Is that from Alberta?
Yes. Was that illegal?
No, it's perfectly
They don't
legal.
sell this.
They just don't sell it here, but it's
Yeah,
perfectly legal to have.
Yeah, there's a gift I give to.
Yeah, I know it don't come from around here.
I wonder how many other places don't get a Costco liquor store.
I don't know.
Because it seems like we're the only one.
So I feel like we have to at least acknowledge that Karm brought that.
Thank you very much,
thank
Karm.
him. And
I don't have a cup,
the only way we can truly thank him is by indulging into
drinking
it.
some. All right.
I
gotta go get a cup.
Okay, you go grab a cup. I'll start pouring these ones. Thank you, Karm. You said this is your favorite rum? What's that?
It is actually. It happens to be the price of the rum for what it is.
That's why you like it.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a very good rum. Actually, in my favorite drink, pretty much compared to.
So you're saying you like it because it's cheap?
No, I love it.
You love it because it tastes good.
Yeah, okay. but then also the price of it.
The most bang for your buck.
Yes, easily.
But there's got to be a rum you like more than that tastes better.
Well, maybe I guess Bumbo. But does it cost more? That's why it is.
So when it costs more, it doesn't taste as good?
I'm not sure.
You're like, fuck, I paid this much. I can't enjoy it.
If Costco does a Bumbo, my probably might be better. Costco Bumbo.
When Costco does a
going on?
bamboo. Oh my god. Hey, if you're
Bamboo's
still
the
watching us,
best
give us a
rum.
shout out in the chat. Say
Yeah,
hello.
give yourselves a pat
I
on the
want to
back.
know who's watching.
Thank you. What do we got? Oh, Ryan's in the chat.
We don't acknowledge our audience enough. We acknowledge, what they say, but
we want to let you know the government will kill you for free.
we want you to smash that like and subscribe button.
We need to acknowledge the presence of Karm more than anything.
And that's
and
right.
we appreciate it, Karm. We
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
your
Thank you for inviting me.
original spiced rum. Thank you for showing up. The invite.
There's all the Coke we have.
Is unnecessary. You can come any goddamn time you want.
You just wanted a little bit for that, right?
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dan just got in the chat. What's up, everyone? Carolyn said drunk love. That was when Nate was on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
That was drunk love. Yep.
I appreciate it, Nate. I love you too, bro.
In my experience, drunk love looks a little bit sloppier than that.
Right.
I'm sorry, children.
Anyways, actually, the three of us were just in Calgary, 5 months ago?
That was a good time.
2 weeks, I think, before we showed up there was a guy that went fucking nuts
in the subway,
grabbed a blind senior citizen and cut his throat. And he's gotten a lesser sentence due to colonialism, is what the judge said. Yeah, I don't know what that means. I assume that means that this suspect was a native guy or something.
So
is that what that suggests?
His defense must have consisted of saying that he felt like he lived in the land of colonizers like a prisoner, and then that was his excuse for slicing someone's throat.
Cutting a blind senior citizen's throat in public.
So he's a coward. Like we can get that out of the way.
Yeah,
like you took a blind old person and cut their throat.
Yeah.
So
you prey on the weak.
There's not even any honor in that.
Yeah.
Like go fight a fucking fighting age male if like you're a tough guy, right? But you cut an old man's throat who couldn't even see it coming. Like you're a coward. I don't care what your reasoning was. You're a fucking coward.
Mm-hmm.
We can get to the reasoning now, but
I believe that's a really strong point for why we can't defund the police. Because no matter what, some people have a bad day, and maybe they get picked on by the stronger people and they feel like they need to take it on weaker people. I don't know. That's a speculation, but it is blatantly obvious that people take advantage of the system. People take advantage of the weak, of the meek, and that's what we need cops for. Yeah, not everybody should have an armed guard standing at their front door while they sleep.
Yeah. No, we shouldn't have to have that.
Yeah.
I remember talking to someone from South Africa in 2012, somewhere around then.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on a job with him. I just met him and he was telling me what it's like to live in South Africa. And I had no idea. And I was asking him, like, what's it like? He's like, oh, it's not like here. Mm-hmm. He's like, I have a daughter and she can't play outside.
No.
And if she wants to, he's like, we have a chain link fence around our whole property and a gate at the driveway. And so if she wants to ride her bike, I close the gate and I sit out front with a gun in my hand and she can ride up and down the driveway. And that's the way it is. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the only way it works. Otherwise, someone's going to come take her and hold her for ransom or just take her.
And you don't want to roll the dice.
And yeah, they're just going to try to take you for everything you're worth if they don't see that you're holding some sort of like defense, right? So like just to let his daughter play outside, that's what they had to do. And yeah, that's fucked up, man. I would not want this country to turn into something like that.
No, and I mean, unless we do something that's an inevitable decline. There's no such thing as a society that's lasted forever. Every single one of them collapse eventually.
Lefty Lucy says ancestral flashbacks, talking about the last subject, and then says you'll get necklaced in SA. That's SA is
South Africa.
Oh, South. Yeah,
exactly.
I was thinking like San what? Like something in California.
San Antonio.
No, South Africa. Yeah, you necklace. Yeah.
Exactly that.
Yeah, no, I have no interest going to South Africa.
Not at all. Brittany Griner was freed.
Oh yeah, let's get into that.
Week.
And anybody ever seen that movie Lord of War? Nicolas Cage,
Yeah,
his character, that's who they traded her for.
Yeah, his name Victor Bout. Victor with a K, no C.
Meanwhile, former Marine is still in prison there in Russia.
No, and that's one. There are plenty of
well, the big one, the one that everyone keeps naming.
Yeah.
Like for whatever reason, like people think he should have been let out before her.
Well, they could have traded. They could have made that trade.
They could have.
Right?
They could have.
And they never did. The only reason they're doing this is because it's so publicly announced. I bet
if you were in that prison,
nothing. No one.
And even if like me and other people were like making a big deal, you would have never been heard, swept under the rug, never came out of Russia till your 10 years are done.
And this is speculating, but I'd say even 10 years ago, Brittany Griner goes there and she's fucked. This is kind of like woke culture being like, hey, you got to save, like, we got to trade a massive arms dealer for a basketball player that broke the law blatantly and purposefully.
Yep. Carolyn said, wait, what? You saw that or saw this? Sorry.
Saw what?
Saw what? Sorry. Your comments come up like a little bit later than when
Carolyn.
You type them. So just, I don't even remember what we're talking about 30 seconds ago.
I apologize. But yeah, that's a creepy one that like the public.
Oh, she said, I saw that like when it comes to South Africa. No, the person I was talking to lived that.
Like firsthand.
Yeah, firsthand.
Yeah,
if that's what you're getting at.
Going back to the South Africa,
going
with colonization and everything. It's actually they say Gaza and it's Karmspiracy. That there's like everything that's happening there is going to happen in the rest of the world. So there's a genocide of the white people there.
Yeah.
And it's attempted to happen. But if you notice who's getting demonized, they're like, hey, the same thing happened to us. You guys are years behind us, and that's what's happening to you. So hey, that's what the people that have experienced are giving their statement that is happening. So might be something.
This person, Lefty Lucy. First of all, I like your name. You know, Lefty Lucy, righty tighty, but it's Lefty Lucy, like the name Lucy. Clever.
I believe her name is Lucy. Yeah.
For sure. But you know, Lefty Lucy, the term, right?
No, I never heard of that.
So anyways, Winnie and Nelson love necklacing. I didn't know what that was. She explains it. Necklacing, bury a person up to their neck, put rubber tire over their head, light it up. That sounds terrible. So you're buried up to your head and then they just burn your head. That sounds absolutely terrible. Where did you hear about this?
Very common in India. Same thing.
Very common in India?
Oh yeah, there's accidents like tires. I love that.
Would you say they do that more than like I don't know, like isn't there like people stone people to death? Like I've seen people I've seen videos unfortunately of them burying people up to their neck and stoning them to death.
This tire thing?
Yeah.
It's common.
Really?
And I think there's a tire hurt.
It's the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, because it burns hot and it's burning your body and the person's still alive and whatnot.
Jesus Christ. I've unfortunately seen a few videos of people getting stoned to death in Muslim countries, and that's a disturbing video. I can only imagine a necklacing event. Jesus Christ. Damn. So in India, is there a certain part of India that's common?
No,
or is,
that was done against the Sikhs. It was very common. 1984. There was
against the Sikhs.
Yeah.
So it was like to prove a point. Like
it was a
religious thing.
Yes.
Wow. And when you say against the Sikhs, forgive me for my ignorance, was that like the Hindus against the Sikhs, or who was fighting the Sikhs?
So Sikhs are only like 3% of the population in India. It's funny because the rest of the world is a big population.
I was going to say it's interesting because most people here are Sikh. I don't know any Hindu churches. I know of a lot of Sikh temples though. Like
you're right.
Yeah, so that's interesting that you say only 3% of them are Sikh, and Hinduism is bigger over there.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Yeah, they go, and that was one of their big. That was what everyone was getting. They would get tires on them,
and you said that happened to Sikhs specifically.
Correct.
So would you say that like we have a bigger Sikh population here because they were fleeing the country?
Yes. I'd say
interesting.
That's interesting enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you leave if you're part of the elite club?
Yeah.
You know.
That being said, I have met actually this year. I met a real Hindu. I'm not.
Trust me.
I know that word gets used in such a bigoted way normally, but I mean that in the most sincere way. I met a real Hindu this year. I did work for him, and when he said, he's like, "No, I'm not Sikh. I'm Hindu. I want my house blessed." And I was like, wow, like this town has so many Sikh. Like it's the first Hindu I've ever met, and
there's Hindus here.
Yeah,
of them.
it's so weird saying
Not
that.
many,
like,
you're right,
and not feeling like bad about. It's
That's
like
the
no,
proper
but
term.
that is the proper term. Like. I'm like sweating. I'm like, we're gonna get canceled. I met my first Hindu guys.
Yeah.
How do I say
I
this?
said it 3 times and I'm not done saying it yet.
No, I met a Hindu.
You already suicided.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can get tire fucked.
I say this every episode, but we're getting canceled.
Okay, so was there much like resentment towards Pakistan in your family?
No, because Muslims.
Yeah, well, just because I know India and Pakistan fight.
Yeah, but because Punjab was Pakistan.
Yeah.
So they speak Punjabi. Actually, they speak the same
in
language.
Pakistan.
Yes, correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's still good water there. They were still, but the religions, big problem.
They fight. They don't.
Massive.
Yeah.
The Mongols took over. Actually, they tortured and killed. If you go to the sea, they actually took them down now, but they would be like horrific scenes of growing up. I mean, they're everywhere. Right? They got boiled alive, buried alive, and they're brave. Sikhs were. That's their history of being pretty brave. But mind you, when they need to stand up for their own personal rights. But hey, whatever. That's another discussion.
It takes bravery to get on a boat and come all the way over to fucking Canada,
true.
right?
Yeah, that's true.
And while
those boats weren't quick, it was like a month
amazing.
on fucking.
And they
the
took
ocean.
the same boat somehow that the Croatians took because my fucking grandpa,
They
my
made
Dita
deals.
came here.
I give you flooring, good friend.
They showed up at the same time. They worked at the mill at the same time, and then they went into building houses at the same time. It's just how it fucking works, right?
You want flooring, you give me good deal.
The Sikhs, so in both world wars, they're known as super warriors. So geographically now, because where they at, it was like a land bridge. So they're constantly being fought. That's actually, it's funny how religion works, I'm sure. Well, nonetheless, but I did find out that that's what the turban represented. The turban and the Quran.
Really?
You know the 5Ks?
No.
You know the kacha?
No, please explain.
Okay,
I don't even know the 3Ks.
Let him start.
It's kind of like the Christian or whatever. You go in the pond or whatever. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But they get Christian and the same thing happens to the.
A little closer.
Same thing happened with the Sikhs. They got once you've been, you give yourself to God, then there's a 5K. So it's a Quran. You have to carry a knife with you all times. That was because they were invaded all the time, so they didn't defend themselves, and they were a warrior kind of.
You say Kaban? Is that what it's
Kirpan?
Kirpan.
Yeah, it's a 5K.
Okay,
and then everyone's case. It's your hair.
Oh.
Yeah,
you grow it out.
Yes,
you never cut it.
Cut your hair, and it's funny. You hear these stories of maybe there's something to it. You never know, right? But the indigenous people locally, and they lost their powers after cutting their hair.
Right.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
Go back to the first one, the knife. When it comes to that, I've heard something. Can you confirm this? If you pull it out, you can't put it back until it drops blood.
That's a Muslim thing. It's funny.
That's Muslim?
That's Japanese too.
No.
With the katana.
Well, no.
No, it's not. Not the Sikhs. No, they can pull it out.
Not to Sikhs.
They can pull it out.
They can pull it out and put it back in without blood. But is it? But who do you know where that came from? Like
3 ninjas, something like that.
Where that's probably racism.
You got a touch of the racism on
you. All right. That's why
you're 2 for 2.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
That's true. That seems like something that like Ninja Turtles brought out. They're like, if I show you, I have to kill you.
That's why I had to ask.
But I remember that.
I've heard that.
Because it's like if you ever pulled your katana fully out of the sheath, the scabbard, you had to kill some. Or
is that
I remember
actual Japanese thing?
Obviously I don't fucking know, but I remember hearing that.
So are you racist for saying that?
Yeah. Sign me up. Why do you think we hang out together?
Crowded Room podcast where we just assume shit all
crowded
the time.
Racist podcast.
Holy fuck. The crowded
we are
prejudice.
Experts. We are experts.
Stereotypical podcast. Where we
And
believe
we're
every
going to hell.
stereotype we hear.
And
No, just
canceled
kidding.
straight to hell.
No, we get to the bottom of things, and that's why I had to ask. I had heard
Right.
that once. And
Me
I
too,
haven't-
but
I heard that. That's funny. There's so many of those.
Right.
but that's not true at all, is what you're saying.
No.
Okay.
I've
good
heard
to
it
know.
too, and I've never studied.
You heard it here.
So
it
I
ain't
think
true.
it was like Three Ninjas or like.
Yeah, no, Sikhs are actually straight up warriors in that regard. 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've heard of this too, but I've never studied this
That's
either.
why
Right?
that's why they have this the sword, and they're very. And you know what's funny is if this is intergenerational. They're angry.
Yep.
They're very. Let's look at all the gang violence
Right.
in Vancouver or whatever. So it might be
right.
something to that, right?
So when
It's
say-
generationally been traumatized.
Yeah.
Do you know much about that?
no, not at all.
Yeah, well, it's called epigenetics. And it's not a joke. There's 30 years of science, actual science.
Yeah.
Science. Yeah, but for real. And but it's just theories of how much the generational trauma causes evolution in you almost, and trigger as later as you go on. Be an angry race or powerful race or
Interesting.
whatever, right? Yeah, and like I said, they were constantly getting attacked all the
Yeah.
time for they were in the land bridge or whatever. So
Right. So here's a thought off the top of my head. Xerxes from the movie 300 was that part of like the that's part of Persia, I guess. Now that I think it through,
Yeah.
was that part of India?
that's Iran. Yes,
Oh,
because-
that's right. Yeah.
but Iran, Afghanistan is India.
Right. I
Right?
just
so like they're
Alex just saw a brown guy. He's like, do you know
before,
what?
No.
before it was Hindustan.
because
right?
the story is
Turkestan.
they're coming west from east,
Yeah.
and west of Greece is India.
Yeah, that was the older time.
Persia-
Everything
Or
was a
east,
stand.
sorry, east of
Persia
Greece.
was taking over everything. That literally is like almost like the heart of humanity. Some
Mm.
people may argue that, but like
Right.
Persia is where like the greatest history in the
Babylon.
world exists.
But
Yeah.
is it so far fetched to imagine that India was part of the Persian Empire?
They're quite a ways away. They're like,
But
Here's Persia,
but
but
the
the-
empire was so
India's-
big.
No, at one point it was the
Right.
oldest religion written text
yeah.
in the world. Actually, comes from India.
When Persia
So-
was huge, they may have been
I've
a bit
heard
closer
this,
to
yeah.
India, but I think
Yeah.
India has always been separate. I don't think Persia ever expanded towards where India is, because Persia only went as far as where the Middle East as a continent is, and India is actually part
Right.
of Asia.
For some reason, I was under the impression that they controlled most of the known world at one point in time.
Persia?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what we're like. Persia
is
was
why
like the
I-
heart, like that's where everything was.
Which is why I speculate that India was part of it.
Well, India isn't near it though.
But
Yeah,
they were
no,
part of the known
but
world.
it was one of
Yeah.
the stands. So like you could if you go in the languages, and because it was before it was Turkestan, it was Hindustan, not India.
Oh,
It
really?
was based on the Indus River, and it was Afghanistan. It was all
Right.
yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
hey
it's-
guys, we have a couple different accounts. Free virtual girls chat in your city.
Hey!
squirts with the squirt emojis. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you know what I'm doing tonight? I am
Yeah, I heard the-
vert girls chat in my city. That's what I'm doing. Sign me up.
Oh, vert girls in your area.
Yeah,
What
vert
are you gonna-
girls.
what you gonna do?
That's right. That's right. So you never fought a Greek guy, hey?
In the fight.
in
a
a past
Hell yeah.
No,
Probably.
I'm sorry.
Probably had
That
many
fell
times.
on deaf ears.
Yeah.
So hey,
No,
you
but
guys have
many
heard
times.
of the Prince of Persia, since we're on this subject.
I've
You ever
played
heard of the
game.
Princess of Persia?
No, who's that?
So I just learned of her today.
Oh, I set you up for a joke so hard and you dropped it. Who's the princess of Persia?
You.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
So the Princess of Persia, the short little fat lady, and she's got a unibrow and a mustache. And apparently, like they're trying to put this out there now, like if you had a mustache and you were a woman back then, that was everyone thought you were so beautiful, apparently. So she became the
heard
Princess of Persia.
Oh, the
And she's
fat
just-
lady.
She looks like Pugsley, man. Like
I've seen
got this
that
fucking-
lady. Yeah.
It's like a strip of hair along the eyebrow
And
and,
apparently,
a strip of hair
like,
along the
Dude, Persian women are known for being absolutely gorgeous. But it
Yeah.
isn't
Oh,
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
time. It's a cultural
but the
shift.
Princess of Persia.
This was a
body
time
and,
where like fat chicks were seen as like beautiful because obviously skinny chicks died from malnutrition, right? And fat chicks birthed healthy kids. You should see there. 5 dudes killed themselves because she rejected them. Apparently,
This chick that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And like when you see her now, it'd be like, nope.
Yeah,
Like my mom.
yeah.
I talked to my mom. This is great. She's this. I mean, it's like,
Wait,
You should
what about
see
your
her
mom?
back
What?
then. Yeah, I was trying to.
It was just the old, just their
The old
thinking.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, chicks with big hips. Because I mean,
Hips
skinny-
are different.
No, but think of it this way: before there were doctors, childbirthing was really hard.
It was a
Chicks,
risk.
Chicks with big hips had easier time birthing children.
We live in a time where
Baby
skinny
nature.
chicks can have kids without dying, whereas like back then, a chick with childbearing hips
Is
it's
what
like,
you looked for.
Your wife
Yeah.
isn't gonna die when you get
Yeah,
her pregnant.
If you got
Like,
big hips, you're gonna put in the Canadian maid.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. And
they don't want you.
exactly. And you got a
Did you
big
just say-
You got an
family.
agenda.
if they got big hips, you're gonna put in the Canadian maid. That's what you just said.
That's what we
I
were talking
fucking
about
love
earlier.
you,
We
dude.
added everything in there.
We just
man.
kind of let that one.
Add it in.
No, I had to
Add it
repeat
in.
it for that reason. It just it
Yeah.
went too quick.
No, the big hips. Put them in there.
Yeah.
Get them done, right?
Big hips, sign me up.
That's very
Carolyn
cool.
says, I would say dyed hair is dead. Oh, no, this is a conversation that's going on. So they're talking about hair being a sixth sense. And Carolyn says, yes, I heard, Lucy, hair was like a sixth sense. Modern science claims hair is dead. I would say hair died, or I would say dyed hair is dead. So yeah.
Okay.
Modern science.
Let's get back to
That's
this.
good.
The first one, she says,
mRNA.
when natives joined the American Army, they made them cut their hair to crew cut. The natives lost their warrior senses and couldn't perform as well as before. That's what started that conversation.
This is when
actually.
this is what has been over and over.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
It's been repeated.
Interesting.
That's what it is.
That's what I found interesting when you said
Yeah.
that they believed that the power was in their hair through India, and then Native Americans believed the same thing.
Yes.
It
I
was-
believe the
yeah.
same thing. When I cut my hair, girls stopped talking to me.
Yeah, I quit hanging out with you too. like,
No, that's when he started hanging out with me.
I was like, oh, dude, this guy's
Dude.
cool as shit, dude.
No, he's
If
like,
girls don't cut your hair, then you're like,
Then they cut their hair. I stop hanging out with them. It's cyclical.
yeah, should have kept my dreads.
You
It's
should
crazy how many people have said, like,
Really?
women have said that. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
dude.
not very often a guy's like, man, I wish your hair was still long.
Sure. No, nowadays you'd get canceled for cultural appropriation, right? Like,
No, because I didn't force my hair to do that. It did it.
good luck explaining that to the fucking liberal assholes bitching
Yeah.
at you on Twitter.
I have to care about them to respond.
To
respond. To
there
them.
you go.
Like fucking, if my hair grows that way, it grows that way. You got a problem. That's your problem.
Hey, if I don't like to shampoo my hair, fuck you. That's
Yeah.
that's your commercial.
You ever seen what cavemen look like?
Yeah.
I'm going back to my roots.
You don't chew big red. Fuck you.
Marlboro Red for life.
Yeah. Anyways,
What's next?
convoy lawyer Brendan Miller went after Christina Freeland. Did you see that?
yes, it did.
There's a lawsuit right now between the convoy, the Freedom Convoy, and the government of Canada.
Mm.
And he's up there grilling Christina Freeland. She starts like killing time. She's like, well,
I know.
if you're trying to bring up blah blah blah,
'Cause you're in
then
15
I would
minutes.
say blah blah blah,
Yes.
as if asking herself her own question.
Yes.
And he literally was like, if you would stop running the clock out, I have some stuff to talk about,
Yeah.
please.
Yes.
Like,
And
yeah.
the House of Commons is almost like so pointless. It's like, answer this question. They're like, fuck you. You
Yes.
did bad things that I don't
Yeah.
like. And they're like, I asked you a question.
Could you answer?
Could you answer?
Yeah.
They're like,
Even when this
this
is yes
guy
or no.
asked me this question
Yeah.
when he believes this. And they're like, can you answer the question?
It's clearly
And
it's yes
like,
or no.
it's just so
no.
stupid. Questions
It's okay.
rarely. When's the last time you saw a question get answered in the House of Commons?
With Pierre. Pierre does.
Pierre's the
stuff.
only one. Will you condemn this? He's like, I did condemn it.
Yeah.
So that's the closest thing to an answer we get. And I mean from both sides. I'm not trying to be one-sided here. Most sides, it's more of a like they're throwing shit at each other.
The deeper you look
But, like-
into it, the more you get away from voting for someone and you go towards voting against someone, which
Yeah.
is very scary. That's the whole reason we don't have a two-party system in Canada. But it's slowly devolving into you're throwing your vote away. You're you know, you're
The
not
Green Party.
helping the system.
You're like, I'm voting for Green this year. It's like,
you know what? Let's talk about something voting. I happen to know something about that. So like,
Please do.
I just locally, just if I were to, I feel like I know a lot of people. So the entire Indian community, I went to both Sikh temples, and they both of them said that none of them, and they all voters.
Yeah.
you say
We're
both
talking-
Sikh temples? We have
yes.
a few, don't we?
Just two.
Just two.
Yes, there is. So it's like it's political. So, anyways, they both were like, we gotta get this guy in because he's the only guy to run. So everyone here has to vote for him.
Yeah.
Period. So there's thousands of them. I have another special interest group that, like thousands, where I happen to be part of I was almost like a voice for standing up for basic human rights,
Right,
of all sorts. I also
and I
did-
understand, and those are altruistic groups, and it's very comforting to know that those people are out there, right? But there's groups
how many
for
voters?
every little thing. There's groups for people who like fucking mozzarella cheese.
I
And
was
are
gonna
we gonna
say-
go out there and be like, hey, let's all vote fucking blue, guys? Like,
Hey, it's
fuck
true,
yeah,
but
cheese, cheese,
Everybody vote for
cheese.
Parmesan cheese.
but the way this
I
shit
mean, you
works
get
is-
that vote.
it literally is like a high school. It actually is. It actually know where to just ask anyone.
Yeah.
It actually is like just popularity.
It's a popularity contest,
Yeah.
and it's sad, but that's the waters we have to navigate, right? Like, unless we want to throw the fucking board on the ground and fully pick up arms and fight Mad Max style, you play the game that's been set in front of
Okay,
you.
so I just wanted, because I'm fine with everything. I'm too busy in my life, anyways, whatever, right? But I can tell you, this is my personal experience. I can speak to.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you.
Please do.
The entire Sikh community. I had another special interest group with thousands of people. I put on so many myself, personal, thousands of toys I personally collected and distributed to kids, and there's like, they love me and their parents too.
For like Christmas drives.
Thank God for anything. No, just constantly.
Yeah.
I did events, hundreds of all the time,
Yeah.
regularly, and took no $0 for it, and just, you know, always like it was easy for me. I'm a martial arts school. I feel like I know the kids, and I always have my regular thing, and it's got to be like, there's still boundaries, and you still have to like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help out.
Out of
single
the three of
moms.
us, you
Yeah.
dedicate
Yeah.
most of your time
To
to
the community.
helping community, to helping kids, to making an after school program for parents to actually be able to do a full day's work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Neither of us to do
There's
any
other-
of that
there's
shit.
other after school, but I tried to do it in a certain way. So, anyways, I'm trying to say is I helped out a lot of people. I have worked at the school board, and I have a reputation.
Yeah.
It was very amazingly like I just, by my own personal survey and everything. Maybe people are not voting enough, but
Karm,
I'm amazed.
There's not
at
enough
the
people
results.
voting.
I'm amazed at the
to
results.
tell you my honest opinion, Karm,
Yeah.
I think that you did a great job, and I agree with everything you just said.
Mhm.
It was your first year running, you know.
I don't think
and-
there's anything different you could have done.
Yeah,
You're
no.
fucking amazing. You got
Look,
4,500 fucking votes, dude.
Sometimes you can do everything right and still fail, and I think you did everything right. But sometimes it just takes perseverance, and I think the way that you treat that loss and bounce back from it will determine if you get it next time. Because I feel like you did enough this time to show that you are someone that should be up there. That's my opinion. Because you got, like you said, you got 4,500 votes.
It's a lot.
And what was the lowest person that got voted in? Was that like 6,000 votes or something? Like
Less than that, I think.
less than that.
It
Like,
was
dude,
close.
I'm saying you weren't far off from it. And I can understand the discouragement.
It's not
but
it's not discouragement at all.
Just hear me out. Like,
Yeah.
I think next time you got it, as long as you
I think
bounce
you
back
got it.
properly, as long as you take this loss
And
properly,
yeah.
and I, in my own opinion, I feel like you should just get ready for the next one.
Yeah.
Like, fuck saying,
I was almost
fuck saying
like-
why you lost this one.
I'm not.
Fuck that.
I'm not. I'm happy.
Go to the next one.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
It is not a conspiracy. But
Yeah,
you know
there
what
we
I'm-
go.
yeah.
Hey,
What I'm trying to say is, and I was already told before, you're not going to get in right away. Okay,
It's
but
damn
I-
near
I'm
takes
impossible
time.
to get
I'm
in on
gonna
your
talk from
first
my
try.
my own person, dude. I'm running.
Yeah.
all the time. I'm telling you.
You just put your foot in the door.
You know what?
No, but no, I'm telling you. Let me share with you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
We're listening.
I'm talking to the person. I voted for you. And I'm in a gymnasium, and then there's a little window, tiny window. They're coming in. Hey, I voted for you. I'm like, oh.
You think you got more than 4,500 in reality?
I'm just because right now, if there ever was a Leninist, Stalinist thing, and
it's Trudeau.
If there ever was a time ever.
Yeah,
it is all happening during where it's all happening right now, where there's the great reset that the conspiracy, except the books and everything else that says it's not all the public things is not.
Yeah,
but anyways, I just want to leave with that. It just I actually physically did a survey myself, and no one did, and everybody. Okay, so
but did you get 6,000 positive reviews in that survey?
Just wait. I'm only 2 more minutes.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so. Who was the first guy that they got voted in? Who was it?
Probably Brian.
The top guy.
Probably Brian.
Shaken.
Why did they vote about Brian's cave?
Probably because he's been around the longest, and out of all of them, he tries to do the most amount of damage control and feel with the relate with the people.
What do you mean damage control? You mean say he's actually?
Well, I would say
no.
Some people think he's being transparent, whereas sometimes I think he's doing damage control. But what I'm getting at is he talks to people the most, and he tries to explain why we went over budget on this, and he tries to also claim ignorance, and you know what, I can't prove any of these things, so I can only say what he's done, what he thinks he's doing, and I think that's why he's like the number one. And would you agree that out of everyone on the council, would you rather have him stay or I
actually was publicly said it many times.
Yeah, exactly.
I played the same record as him. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just weird.
And for people who don't know, this is local politics in Prince George here. Karm was running for city council, and I think you were the highest voted candidate that didn't make it in.
Yeah. Which honestly, you weren't that far away.
Can I say something? It was your first time running ever. This Brian guy, it's probably his 10th time running.
Yeah.
That name has been burnt into people's heads. They've seen that sign a million times on the side of the road. I'm telling you, second try, third try, you're gonna fucking get it.
No, I was told second try again for sure, but just and my friend they're in now, they told me he just keep doing it and just be relevant.
Next time you run, I'll be your PR manager for free.
That's what Luch was doing, wasn't he?
No, but
Luch's my man.
I promise you, there's certain things that should be said and shouldn't be said.
You should be the social media manager.
Well, I think PR best describes it because public relations.
Right.
And honestly, Karm, I think that you run for all the right reasons, and I fully support you.
Yeah, I think.
But when it comes to what you say and what you let people know about you, I feel like if you toned it back 10%, I feel like that would be that would be enough for everyone to jump on board. Because there's people out there that don't believe what you're saying because you say things that are outlandish that we believe because we know enough to know what you're talking about, but a lot of people don't, and we have to understand that, right?
Okay, so let me share with you some insight, actually.
Yeah,
I got told about 3 different times. A prominent lawyer in town, actually, who said, "Hey, stop talking about the climate change."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Hey, you know what? I never said it's not real. I'm just saying how it's going to affect people, which is real."
Yeah.
So
do you notice the other guys talking about it though?
Nobody.
Nothing.
And I'm not saying that that's wrong specifically. I'm just saying
play the game
over your whole campaign.
Yeah.
There was maybe 2 or 3 times where I was like, I appreciate that you believe that, and I believe it too. But sometimes some things don't need to be said. You know,
we're trying to win,
and it's not about being nefarious either. It's not about hiding your true intent by any means. It's more just about saying what people can stand behind. You know what I mean? Sticking to those points. You know, and I really feel like next time you got it. You really do. I feel like you live and you learn. You went hard this time. You did a fucking great job. And I feel like with a little bit of critique, a little bit of a twist, you're gonna get it. I promise you.
That all being said, you got voted because of who you are.
Yep.
Anything that we say is not who the fuck you are. You run the fucking the screen of all this stuff. And I vote for you. I will continue to vote for you because I know who you are. And I swear to God, if you would have got in on your first time running, that would have been a miracle, dude.
We would have rioted.
It's only normal that you don't get in on your first try.
Help
Right?
everyone, help the economy.
Exactly.
Dude, I just hope you're not discouraged to run again, because I really think that you got it. And I think you need to. It's not about what you need to do. It's more about just I don't want you to feel defeated from the last one. And I don't know if you feel that way, but
not at all.
You're shaking the camera.
How am I even gonna
shaking the camera?
Yeah.
I'm shaking the camera just from talking.
It was shaking. And anyways, that's not a topic to talk about. Virtually all same incumbents got voted back in through the vast majority of people wanting change. Yeah.
That's what's sad.
That's the sad part.
4 out of 6.
People say they want change, but they don't trust new faces. That's why second time around saying the exact same stuff, I'm sure you're going to get more votes than last time. You're also banking on these set in stone guys to fuck up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's only so many seats.
Do you mind if I say I did a bit of conspiracy?
Yeah.
Well, so let me just have a little bit of conspiracy. So imagine that there is a actual 1%, maybe 3%. So like, just do the math.
Yeah.
How much percentage power do we have? Like zero, none. Like actually, if they own 97% of the power, let's give them 3%.
In what?
Let
Sorry?
alone just
Who?
the Karl Schwabs of the world.
Oh, you mean
The elite.
where
Like
he
the
says-
rich people in the
where
world,
he
like
says,
1%.
I own the entire Canadian Parliament, says it publicly,
they do.
and that's what he says. So, like,
Yep.
how far
A
deep does
majority
that?
of it.
How far deep does that go? Especially at the most important time ever, because they need the Great Reset to happen.
And as a Canadian, I hate it so much when he says that. It's like, out of all the countries, he's like, oh, he's bragging about having Canada in his pocket. It's like, man, like,
And
why does it have
what's
to be
happening?
this country? It's
And-
like I thought I won the luck of the draw and was born
To
in
be
a
born
good
here.
country.
just and on record, there's like hundreds of videos of Trudeau in French and English saying that the people that chose for their body are just misogynist, racist, and everything else.
And then he denied it in court under oath.
Under oath, and many old,
Because he said it in French.
No, but
There
that
was
doesn't-
one where I don't know if that's what
Racist.
he's talking about, but there was one in French where he was talking shit about Canadians in
Yes.
general.
He did it in English and and French. Sorry,
The French one was worse, I think, though, maybe.
French.
I think once they translated the French, it was really bad, and then he denied the translation.
Maybe it was a mistranslation, but regardless, even in English,
Pretty easy to
he
verify a
fucking-
translation.
He said that stuff, and he denied it under oath recently.
You know what? You help you
Mhm.
kill you.
What do we? Yeah. What do we like? How do we? What do we do about these people? Is literally what he said in English.
Yes,
What do we do about the like? How do we fucking tolerate these people?
that's what he said.
Like
What people?
Oh, that yeah, exactly. What do you mean, us people? Like, are there two classes of citizens in Canada now? Like there were fucking 1900.
Actually, you know what? I have this here, so I would like to discuss this actually. So this is a very. Go ahead.
Can I see these comments real quick?
Yes, please.
So Carolyn said virtually all the same incumbents.
That's what I read.
Got voted back, even though the vast majority of people want to change. Carolyn also says insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Eden came in and said, I don't think that's true, though. Or I don't think that's true that people don't want different faces. Not enough younger people vote anymore. And Carolyn says, yeah, Eden, you have a point. So,
That's true. Maybe if more young people voted, that would be more true.
yeah, I think you're right, Eden. Like, more young people need to vote. But also, I think more importantly, they need to be care enough to educate themselves to vote properly. I think so many people think that the radio and our fucking mainstream media news is enough to go off of. And when you hear these conspiracy theories, like, you should at least like look into them, see if they're true. Like that's why we get labeled conspiracy theories, because we actually like give them the time of day, and like even if they're not true, in 6 months, half of the time they are true. And that's what's crazy about them is now we live in a time where everything that goes against the way things they want,
The narrative.
it's a conspiracy theory for as long as they can hold that information back. And like Hunter Biden's laptop is a great example. I'm sure there's many
amazing
others.
example, perfect example.
And Eden says that's the thing. So many people think it's a joke, and we have no choice.
How about dude, child molesting, drug, Ukraine, collusion? That thing was nuts. Like, that should be like, it's already
It's
like,
crazy. And not only that, Zelensky's voted Person of the Year on Time Magazine this year.
Wasn't he like a comedian before he became a politician?
He was an actor. He did
He was an actor.
commercials and shit. Yeah.
That's why they hired him.
he was, you want to hear another thing about India? There's this almost half of the MPs are in Bollywood.
Bollywood?
They're all actors, half of them. Just
like the MPs from where? In India?
Actors. So they're probably influential.
Yes.
So
the Bollywood in India is nuts because
it's huge.
There's such a lower class. There's such a lower class of people.
But there's more people. Support him. Like there's more people supporting it. Technically, number wise, right? That's why
they're just in love with their fake world persona, which is not real.
But the thing is, like the biggest YouTube page on YouTube is a Bollywood page that plays Bollywood music videos. Every video that comes out in India. So the population alone, like the numbers that are supporting it are a lot. Maybe not the money coming out of those numbers. Like they're not maybe buying every album, but it's like there's like a billion people that are fucking supporting something. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's where that's basically like celebrities in America coming out. Like remember the Trump Hillary campaign?
Lefty Lucy says Trump's an actor.
Denzel Washington came out. He's like, please don't vote for Trump, guys. I remember that commercial. I remember seeing that. And I think like stuff like that is what pushed middle America over to be like, fuck you, Denzel. Like, quit telling me what to do with. I'll fucking vote for who I want.
Well, that's just it. These celebrities come out and they voice their opinions on issues that don't seem as big as child sex trafficking, like with Balenciaga.
Yeah.
And so like they won't say a fucking thing about that
until Trump starts running.
But if Trump says something or someone else says something, you know, like someone on the right says something, then they'll speak out. Oh, gun control. Oh, Liam Neeson literally made his fucking millions off of shooting guns in movies and hunting people down and killing them with guns. And now he's against guns. And like the companies that rent their guns out, their realistic guns to the movies that he does, they won't rent guns out to movies that he's in anymore. They're like, fuck you. Like you're trying to get rid of guns. You're against guns when that's how you made your money, like with Taken and stuff like that. Like go fuck yourself.
That's sad.
I mean, sad that he made that choice.
Yeah, exactly. Through these. Did I tell you? Oh, you're gonna go piss?
Yeah, I gotta sneak.
Have we talked about the Alberta Sovereignty Act? Have you heard of this?
It just happened last night.
Can I sneak past you real quick?
It's new. It's brand new and it's passed. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
I feel like I should just go into the podcast.
Yeah, I think you should just bring a bottle.
It's the Crowded Room podcast.
You should just piss in a bottle from now on.
Because of where I sit, they say I should piss in a bottle.
I cannot confirm or deny that I piss in a bottle. Do have a catheter just for fun.
Discriminated against on my own fucking podcast.
You got to walk through and like a bowl and grab everybody's shit. So this Alberta Sovereignty Act, you've heard of this, Karm?
Yes, I have. Actually, I got a conspiracy about it.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Show me here. This is in your.
But first about the pee, him peeing. I think
What you want to go pee with him?
I'm not sure what gender I'm, but I'm always at pee all the time. But
you don't want to misgender him.
I'm pregnant.
Maybe he's pregnant.
I think I'm pregnant.
Yeah,
all the time. But I mean,
fuck, we shouldn't have had so much sex earlier.
If you said anything against that, you could literally actually be put on the maid list. Okay.
I feel half pregnant myself.
Yeah, so
I just had barbecue.
Let's just call the government to come over. Yeah, he said it.
He said it.
He said it.
He said I'm not pregnant. That's the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's racist.
Get him.
Get him.
Get him.
Yeah. Proven in court. I never said nothing.
Exactly. No.
The maid. Oh yeah. I don't know. Right.
Plead the fifth.
Who's the top serial killer in Canada? Number 6. Well, it's
probably Jared.
Dr. Death. I mean, Doctor, this guy down the block. Right?
Yeah.
Is factually true.
I don't actually see him like outside of Thursday nights at 7. Who knows what the fuck he's doing, dude? Yeah. It's kind of creepy. But we'll get over it. So yeah, Alberta Sovereignty Act. They're trying to fight back against Trudeau's federal kind of mandates. It's it's completely separating the country. Some people say that they're being selfish. Some people say that they're standing up for themselves. And I tend to lean towards standing up for themselves. Like somebody's got to fucking do. You're going to sit there and say people can't go to work. They're going to sit there and say, yes, you fucking can.
I fucking can go to work.
And that's it. That's the bottom line of it. Like I've got the reason I went to school for 12 years was to fucking and out myself as a non-college educated person there, was to get the fuck to work. All right. And nobody told me I can't go to work, because if carpenters don't build stuff falls down. And they couldn't tolerate that. They could tolerate people not fucking delivering pizzas or something like that, right? But yeah.
We go back to the same problem for every last thing, why they have dildos and butt plugs on an actual desk in Boston school. Actually,
that's how I lost my job.
It sounds retarded, but it is a conspiracy.
dildo.
It is a conspiracy.
Yeah,
podcast, but it actually
is that where I left my dildo?
Oops. Okay, we got 11 people watching. Smash that like button. Come on, we got 2 likes.
Ladies
Hit
and gentlemen,
that fucking like button.
welcome,
Come on. You guys aren't
welcome. All right, so Musk reveals Twitter collusion. Have you seen that?
Yeah, that's
Elon Musk reveals Twitter collusion. It is not one-sided. It went both ways.
That's true.
The difference in between it is that Twitter is in San Francisco. San Francisco houses mostly liberal people. Liberal people run Twitter. It's not a hard math equation to add up to. So they primarily lean towards the liberal side.
However,
that's
Trump
not,
still did pay for censorship.
Yeah, that's not to say that they didn't collude for the Republican side as well.
The biggest thing that came out is Twitter can be bought and sold for a price, and it doesn't matter what side you're on, they will censor what you want them to censor. But when the actual government that's in power does it, it's different than someone else doing it.
Yeah.
I would say, like, what do you need to censor things for if you're so righteous?
Yeah. And the big center point in all this was the Hunter Biden laptop
so
story.
Eden's asking how what can you be more
Ian,
specific?
call in.
Eden, call in.
We love to talk
Ask
to
all
you.
your questions, Eden.
Little bud. How does a Twitter collude with a political company? All it is suppress this story. Done.
Yep. And the thing is, if you get Twitter, Facebook, Instagram all on the same page, if you have them all in your pocket, that's where people get their information now. Like you think about the amount of people that go on Facebook and Twitter, or at least one of the social media sites, compared to the amount of people that go to cable television for the news.
And one channel.
One channel,
and
yeah.
That's it. They go to the one that makes them feel fuzzy.
Yeah, sometimes it's Fox, sometimes it's CNN. You know what I mean? And so both those people are fucked. You know what I mean? Like and
it's sad. And that's the way that they were raised too. There was one channel.
Yeah,
right.
That if you didn't pay for cable, there was one channel. You just adjusted the antennas and you got CKPG.
That's a joke. I don't fucking believe that. But
Eden says how to hit the like. That's
how to hit like.
Underneath the video, there's a button that looks like this.
You smack your thumb.
And there's a button that looks like this. Hit this one, the one that's going up.
We like the like. Do you get a count of the dislikes?
No.
I want an address of every single day, and I have a specific set of skills. I didn't
want to bring this up because I figured it would encourage people to hit the dislike button.
They'll do it out of trolling. Don't do that.
But that's what you already brought it up, so I have to address it. We've never, ever.
No, don't say that.
Gotten a dislike.
Fuck.
Ever.
You don't say that on the goddamn air. Now Eden's gonna do it.
You guys are supporters, right? Don't you dare hit that dislike button.
We love you, bro.
But if you do, we'll disregard it because it's a joke.
You ain't shit till you got one dislike.
Yep. So if we get our first dislike tonight, we won't be sad. But outside of this, we will. We never got a dislike. In fact, what's very interesting is we've only ever got likes, and some of our videos They don't say we got 100% likes. They say we got 110, 116% likes. I don't know how that makes any sense, but it's like 116% of people clicked like on this. And it's like, dude, we're not just getting 100%. We're getting more than 100% likes.
It's those techie guys at the YouTube station and shit. Like, oh, fuck yeah. Science. They're all just slamming that like button and shit.
She says it's not on her screen. I have to show her. I'll show you how to like my page. Don't worry.
It doesn't count as a view when you're the techies from YouTube, so they just smash.
Giving you a dislike. She's like, I know how to dislike you. I can't figure out how to like you guys.
Giving dislike.
I'm gonna go on her phone and just like all of her.
I'm having a hard time seeing the like button. Oh, it's up here by the
for us
the
it's
time.
Different.
Oh, okay.
No, for us it tells us how many likes we got. We don't have a like
we can't
button.
dislike. I'm gonna go on my 5 fucking burner accounts and like this
I'm gonna
shit
show
right
you right now how to like this.
Yeah. This is a tutorial. We do YouTube tutorials too.
Yeah.
Fuck around and find out. That's what it's called.
All right. So yeah.
Fuck around and find out. That's what it's called.
You're watching, right? It looks like this. There's the chat.
Fuck around and find out. That's what it's called.
You're watching, right? It looks like.
What's going on?
Because it's playing my phone. So you press the X, and now look right here.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, I have the dumbest hat on in the world.
Yeah. Dumbest hat and the silliest co-host. But there's the fucking like button. You just got to get rid of the chat, and then pop. Look, we just liked our own video.
Thank you for that.
Look, we got 5 likes
appreciate
now.
that.
Shit.
Fuck, you guys rock, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Eden, for spamming the chat like that.
You know, no one shows their followers how to like their videos, and we just did that. Maybe that'll.
Yeah, we're starting a new trend. Karm, have you ever disliked our video?
Never.
Oh fuck, I was scared there for a second.
God forbid.
We've never gotten a dislike, so you couldn't know. Dude.
I don't even know what it's like.
Yeah, I don't even know what I dislike.
Can you look up the definition of dislike?
I'm tired of saying that word. So let's stop saying that. Okay, Trudeau.
Someone's gonna dislike it. Now,
yeah,
because that's why I never want to
hate on there. You might get some hates on there.
I wish there was a hate button too.
Yeah. We talk about a lot of controversial subjects, and we've never gotten a dislike. And I figured
that's enough of that word.
I figured our first one would come from me just bringing that up, and I'm sure Shay was the first one when he heard that. I'm just
instantly, yeah. Fuck you, Shay.
Lefty Lucy. Viewers have to watch for so many minutes for YouTube to count it as a view. If people like your video, then leave it will show more than 100% like the bid. Okay,
cool.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, if more people like your video, then leave. Okay, I get it. YouTube had disliked some of your videos though.
That was you. That was her.
Yeah, no. Cassandra, she's saying YouTube had disliked some of your videos though. Yes, you're right. They took some of them down, but YouTube doesn't click the dislike button. Excuse me, when they do that.
That's just general hatery.
Yeah, that was just general hatery. That was BlackRock flexing.
Showing us we shouldn't be talking about that. You put in the maid.
Yeah. So I dislike maids. Anyways, we're gonna send some dislikes back YouTube's way pretty quick here.
Fuck you, YouTube.
Yeah.
We're disliking you.
We're disliking you, you piece of shit.
When YouTube posts stuff, I'm gonna click dislike.
Exactly.
They probably don't even have a dislike on their posts.
Exactly. So Karm, what's the plan? What's your I guess you have to wait 4 years till you get to run again for council, hey?
I do actually. I was my friend put me on a radio with the other counselors.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to stay updated with different things. I actually got another program with Cassandra Urban Farmer.
She's in the chat right now.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a community policing thing in my neighborhood, and then we're gonna start to do in our neighborhood, and then neighbor it into similar neighborhoods. Your neighborhood too, but I'm gonna mirror it. I haven't really followed up with it, but I did start the process. So I'm gonna just start to do more community-based stuff and
gardening. Or just community-based activities.
What's going to happen is we're going to do there's a name for it already.
Yeah.
But I'm going to hijack and twist it. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah.
But we're hijacking there. I'm going to change the name of it. It's called Strong Neighborhoods.
And eventually you want like community gardens, community watch.
We're not going to call it Strong Neighborhood or something else. But yeah, yes.
Did you say gluten strong?
Yeah.
No,
You were gonna
community.
call-
He said
gluten
community.
science.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're gonna call it unity in the community or something. to that
Unity
effect.
in the community. Oh fuck!
Yeah.
You should let us write a song and we'll go rap or something.
Unity,
Yeah.
community. I could make like a 90s rap song
This
about that.
is the G. Yeah, we'll get her.
We got the unity in the community.
There we go. Hey, he's halfway there. Holy fuck! We
That's
shouldn't have.
half the song right there.
We shouldn't have cut you off. You were going hard.
No,
there.
man.
Fuck.
I could have just killed it.
I know.
This thing
It
would've
was my
lit on
fault.
Fire.
I bugged you.
Yeah, no, you
Okay.
fucked up.
So Karm, next time you're here, let's focus on that. Let's bring unity to the community. And
Yeah, no, I have some solutions. I should probably start it soon because there's so many million other things going on. But I need to. I did focus stick at it and started the process. Already called the RSMP and started because I officially started a group.
Yeah.
For our area, and then we're gonna have some public meetings at locals. We figure we'll just split it into catchment areas of schools, and then the schools are public buildings where you can have the neighbors all meet up, and I can have some discussion going on. Hey, because I'm on social media groups that are with crime that are incredible. Like I stopped looking at it. It's like I'm not going to sleep at night knowing this is going on. It's nuts what's going on all around you. So,
it's nuts. And every single day we're getting farther and farther away from, I hate to do this, but our ancestral tenets of old. No, that was the Liver King shitting on everybody. Last week.
Can we talk about him?
No, I think we're signing out here. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm just being a shithead.
No, we should talk about him.
So Liver King got shit on. We were in the middle of Karm's thing here.
I know. I meant after. Like,
yeah. So but we're just trying to put this neighborhood, bring the community all together.
Yeah.
And so that'd be first crime prevention, and then next thing is going to be food security. It all has to do, like I said, the guys are coming to my door. They're telling us they're going to shut down your car. So like the food rush, it's like, get ready now. And now we network the communities together. We're going to take care of each other and start it now. And also like there's people that just don't have money to play in the soccer. It's expensive. It's amazing. It costs almost more than my building. And in my martial arts, I'm like, this is a public outdoor building.
For kids to play soccer.
Yes, it's crazy. It's very, very expensive. And that's the most like, shoes and nothing.
That's the cheapest sport you literally can put your kid in.
Yes, and so anyway, so offer for things for that, and then that's where we want to bring in the food. Will be in is the real actual. What else do you need?
Sustenance.
Yes. Well, what else? Well, what else do you?
Food and water.
That's it.
Yep.
Right.
And shelter.
Heat and shelter.
Yes. So that for that reason, and then you can create culture around that and everything. So that's the plan.
Cool. Well, next time I really hope to follow back up on that, and we'll catch up our audience on the progress on that.
One last thing before we go, Karm. Could you tell us about Akash's accomplishments?
Oh, I forgot to ask about
I would love for everyone to hear about what happened because I've heard and I think it's fucking dope. So
yeah, so
why don't you take that moment?
Yeah, and obviously, as if there's anything that could pass on to my child, for sure, I'm like, hey, you gotta, I have to. That's the way it's always been, like father to son, father to son. That's exactly. A tear in my eye.
Akash is your oldest child, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So just so people know who I mean when I say that.
Thank you.
Your oldest child competed in a martial arts
And how
tournament.
old is he right now?
He's 8.
He's 8 years
He's
old.
8, and he took all the knowledge his father gave him.
Yeah, you know what? Before, just because it's even with my younger son. So what happens is all the other kids listen to me, except my own.
Except your own kids.
Yeah. He won't. And he goes, wild. He'll come slap me in the face, go kiss his mom, come back, slap me, and they purposely climb on the other kid's arms. And I feel like I can't kick him out of here. And you know what's so funny? The other kids look like Caesar Milan be so happy, just ready to. So yeah, but Akash actually is now into it, and so he's been like, just Yeah, even on the train, I felt so bad. One time he was doing the sit-ups just randomly, and he banged his head against the thing. He's like, "I was just trying to do sit-ups, Dad." Like,
That's cute, man.
Yeah,
that's so cute. But I love the road he's going down, and
yeah.
if you could just tell them what he accomplished,
He did. He won a couple gold medals, and he did really good. We watched some videos, and hey, this is what you had. You get 15 points. So he was trying to. He's trying to do it. The neon belly, and
I saw the neon belly.
Yeah.
I was the first thing I said. Oh, neon belly!
Right,
It's just like, dude, that kid on the bottom didn't know what was going on. It's like this kid's ahead of his time. Like,
right. I don't know if we explained, but this was a jiu-jitsu tournament.
It was a jiu-jitsu tournament. Sorry, sure, explain.
I said martial arts, but yeah, jiu-jitsu more specifically.
Amazing. So that brought you to Prince Rupert last weekend.
Yeah, Prince Rupert was awesome. It was a really good showing for our academy, for our kids program for sure. We won like most, just say in wrestling and jiu-jitsu, it just cleaned out all the divisions and just it's just basics, a systematized approach, and just they had a great time. So obviously I'm more than
happy.
Yeah, like of anything I maybe achieved of my whole life that I would achieve.
You can die happy now.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Your kid whooped some ass.
Yeah.
Took what you told him and used it and won.
That's inspiring.
And I can only imagine how proud you are as a father. I just wanted you to be able to say that in front of everyone before we go.
And I think that's an amazing note to leave off on. I couldn't think of anything better. Again, we appreciate it tenfold. Any single time you ever want to come on, you're more than welcome. And
I think our audience knows that. This is probably the fourth time. I think we had you on twice.
Third,
Luch snuck you on once.
Yeah.
So I think this is the fourth time you've been on, but your third solo episode.
Right.
Man,
and
you're a biggest star.
The barrier for fucking entry here is wanting to do it, and you've done that in fucking spades. Like
wanting to do it and also having something to talk about. Because we've had people that want to do it that maybe don't have much to say.
And who cares? They're trying,
and that's all. I'm not hating, but Karm, he comes back time and time again because he
with notes, with prepared stuff to talk about,
not about himself.
And it's not like there's a lull in anything. We really appreciate you doing this. This is not you doing us a favor. This is not us doing you a favor. This is you doing us a favor. That's what I meant to say. Yeah,
exactly.
And at that, ladies and gentlemen, Les Jer has something to say here.
Switchblade. I wanted to say Switchblade for life.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hey, right, Karm? Switchblade for life.
Let's go. Hey.
Little bit of midnight. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
We'll talk to you later.
Alex is pissed.
I'm not pissed. I thought that was funny.
I know.
I wasn't going to say that, but you did.
Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. I look to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes really go running high. That we don't wanna lie when the union arises. Streetlight shining, you know my time's arriving. Out when it's dark cause we midnight vibing. Midnight driving, cruising by flying. Living so fast, never think about dying. Post up in the dark and we hang out with the Batman. Scars on my knuckles cause we fucking with the wolf gang. Switchblade shining, light bright wilding. Stars in my eyes when the moonlight shines in. Murder rap on my first track, killing shit cause I've been begging. Suicide on the second, I don't care, just accept it. Knife swipe and your doom. Switchblade coming soon, chills on your spine when we have up to the fucking moon. Still shine bright, fast, bright, make it eyes one, short, now slice with the rocks, one, blood on my fist, like test, my wrist, moonshine on the blade, just cruising through the mist, moving to the midnight. Think close about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. I look to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes really go running high. That we don't wanna lie when the union arises. A little bit of midnight. Think twice about the motherfucking quick knock. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Howling to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes better go running high to be no one alive when the union arrives. And it'll be the midnight. Think twice about the motherfucking quick knock. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Howling to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes better go running high to be no one alive when the union arrives.
Advertising is a race. No matter what products or services